The scene has shifted to gas out the arena. One more before the holiday break. Atlanta meets Greenville as the I-85 rivalry is renewed for the final game of a 3-3 for Atlanta and a home-and-home against Greenville. Good afternoon, everybody. Guy Chiarenza here with you alongside Andrew Fleming here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Got a great one on tap. Last night was special. Atlanta winning in overtime 2-1 in Greenville. Improves their record to 18-6 on the season. 36 points has them second in the South Division, leaping over South Carolina last night. For Greenville, the loss, they do get the point, despite losing in overtime, fall to 11-9-4 on the campaign, and are still vying for that fourth spot in the South Division with 26 points on the season. Andrew, last night was a whole lot of fun. Gladiators and Swamp Rabbits, gritty battle, scoreless after one period of play. Gladiators take the lead, 1-11 into the second. Isaac Walter does it again, gets the Gladiators on the board. Greenville responds later in the period with a goal from Hudson Shandor. Scoreless third period in overtime. Who else but Louis Boudon to get it done? Gladiators take it 2-1 in OT. But every single game of this season series has been decided by 2 or less goals. I think we're in for a treat here today, Andrew.
Yeah, we've talked about it every time these two teams have played, Guy. These games are tight defensive battles between Atlanta and Greenville. Coming into this game, both teams in the top 10 of the league in goals against per game. Atlanta in first, only allowing 2 goals against per game, while Greenville is in 8th, allowing 2.67 goals against per game. So that just goes to show both of these teams are very good defensively. Both of these teams pretty good in their net. And we'll have a pretty good defensive show here today.
And based off of last night's game and the way that Greenville likes to play, it very well could have been a Hyder scoring game, but solid goaltending from Ethan Hyder for Atlanta, Pierce Charleston for Greenville, and of course, back and forth action and great defensive play. Ended up being a 2-1 final. Today we're going to see TJ Semptenfelter in net for the Gladiators, Andrew. It's been a rotational basis between Hyder and Semptenfelter when they're both on the Gladiators roster. We get to see TJ again here today. He has been sensational this season.
Yeah, both goalies for the Gladiators. You said it. Hyder last night getting out there, getting a good win in overtime. And we get Semptenfelter today, who's just been stellar so far this season. TJ comes into this game, 12 games played so far, 9-3 record, 1.58 goals against average, and a .941 save percentage. So no matter which goalie the Gladiators start, they're going to get some good goaltending from them. And I expect to see that from Semptenfelter here today, Guy.
Semptenfelter is one of the league's best. Between the pipes, he is first in goals against average with 1.58, and he is third in save percentage, as you mentioned, with 941 save percentage. We'll get to see him here between the pipes for Atlanta here today. But outside of between the pipes, the Gladiators have been performing very well, not just defensively, but offensively as well. Leading the charge, Isaac Walter. You know, people usually say this time of year it's a winter wonderland. I've been saying it's been a Walter wonderland. He just keeps scoring. Did it again yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like we talk about Isaac Walter every single time we're on the broadcast, whether it be during the game or during intermission. He's just been a very notable player for the Gladiators as of late. And it's not like he's scoring these flashy highlight reel goals or anything. He's just making the right smart play. We talked about it before the broadcast, Guy. He's going to the net and he's putting his stick on the ice. For any kids listening, when in doubt in the offensive zone, go to the net and put your stick in the ice. It's going to lead to some goals. So Walter, he's just been such a positive player for the Gladiators so far this season. Big-bodied winger. He's able to use his size to his advantage, and he's just been lighting it up recently.
And while Walter may be leading the charge, he's not the only one. You coined him the Big Dogs on Marvel Night. They were wearing Fantastic Four jerseys. I coined him the Terrific Three. Walter, Boudon, Sylvester, that has been the money line for the Gladiators as of late. Cody Sylvester playing some of his best hockey of the season. Of course, Louis Boudon with the overtime winner yesterday. He's got goals in back-to-back games as well.
Yeah, that line put together a couple weeks ago, I believe now. Didn't start the season together. They were put together a little recently, and they've just been lighting it up. It feels like they just clicked immediately when those three were put together. You got Boudon, who's a smaller, shifty center. Sylvester, who's a vet, who knows how to play the game the right way. And you got Walter, who's a young, big winger. And they complement each other so well, and it's paying dividends for the Gladiators here.
Greenville likes to play a speedy style of game. Atlanta likes to suffocate their opponents by playing a north style of game, playing in their end. It's going to be interesting what we see here today, Andrew. Yesterday, a lower scoring game. Think that might be in the cards again here today, but interestingly enough, the special teams battle last night didn't really play a big factor in who won or lost. Atlanta 0 for 1 on the power play, but 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Greenville's an interesting team when it comes to special teams. Really good on the penalty kill, dreadful on the power play.
Yeah, so we used to say that these teams were really similar, both having struggling power plays and very good penalty kills. But recently, Gladiators' power play's been picking it up a little bit recently here. Oop, dropped my notes there. Gladiators' power play really picking it up recently, and I believe they're sitting at 15th in the league on the power play and 10th on the penalty kill. So top 15 in the league on special teams for both units. It'll be interesting to see what we get here today. Obviously, Greenville, not a great power play, but a really good penalty kill.
The power play on the up and up for the Gladiators, 18.2%. Penalty kill been solid all year long at 84.6%. Greenville's power play, 10.2%. That is the second worst power play in the ECHL, right above the Christmas break. And penalty kill, 85.7%. That is 6th in the ECHL. We'll keep a close eye on how special teams may affect today's game, as yesterday's game got a little bit chippy. And with this being the second of 3 straight games between these two teams and the second game of a home and home, you never know what kind of presents might fly during the games, as it's all season greetings here today between Greenville and Atlanta. When we come back here on the pregame show from Gas South Arena, we are going to take a look at the keys to the game presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda. And we will also look at the starting lineups here today between the Swamp Rabbits and the Gladiators. We are back in a moment to Gas South Arena after this.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Desserts are popping up on Purple's menu. More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
Welcome to the Coliseum, Gas South Arena, the venue. One more to go before the holiday break. Atlanta and Greenville renewing their I-85 rivalry here for the second game of a home-and-home after Atlanta defeated the Swamp Rabbits 2-1 in overtime last night in Greenville. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network from Gas South Arena in Duluth, Georgia. It's going to be a great matchup here tonight between these two squads. Atlanta coming into the matchup with a record of 18-6, currently sitting at second place in the South Division with 36 points. Greenville at 11-9-4, has 26 points on the season. Picked one up in the loss in overtime yesterday, currently sitting at fifth, tied with Jacksonville for the final playoff spot in the South Division. Let's get to the keys to the game presented by Beaver Toyota and Mazda with head coach Matt Ginn. Some of these keys get repetitive as the year goes on, but hey, the keys work and the Gladiators have been winning, so we can't knock them too much. Key number one is to play a north style. Their best, suffocating their opponents by playing a north style of game, suffocating them in the attacking zone. Great puck movement, getting shots on goal. That is Gladiator hockey. And offense is the best defense. When the Gladiators do that, they make things very easy for their blue liners and their goaltender. Second key is to limit the speed of the Swamp Rabbits, and this is something that's been a recurring theme all season long, as Atlanta has done a really nice job of stopping the Swamp Rabbits when they're trying to move up ice. You saw a couple times yesterday in the game at Bon Secours Wellness Arena, but Atlanta holding Greenville to only one goal on the board. Gladiators have done a nice job of keeping things to the perimeter and shutting down the Swamp Rabbits' speed. Look to it again here today, as Atlanta has won the last 4 meetings, as they are 4-1 against the Swamp Rabbits this season. Final key is to manage the puck. Sweet but simple. The Gladiators looking to take care of the puck and not turn it over to a speedy Greenville team that will make them pay if they do cough it up. Gladiators look to hang on to it here today and skate out of the building with the victory and improve to 19-6 before the holiday break. And so those are the keys to the game presented by Beaver Toyota and Mazda with our head coach, Matt Ginn. And with that, let's get to the starting lineups here tonight from Gas South Arena. We'll start with Greenville, who is going to send out its second line here today. Almost exactly the same lineup from last night to today. In fact, it is the same lineup for the Swamp Rabbits from yesterday to today, as they'll send out number 20, Ryan O'Hara, the rookie, to start at left wing, standing at 5'10", 180 pounds, native of Oakville, Ontario. Currently has 2 goals and 7 assists for 9 points in 24 games this season. His starting center is the former Cincinnati Cyclone, number 72, Patrick Polino, the veteran, standing at 5'9", 180, the native of Buffalo, New York. Playing with the Swamp Rabbits this season for the first time in his career with Greenville. Has 4 goals and 8 assists for 12 points in 22 games. He is scoreless in his last 5. He gets the start here tonight as Greenville looks to jolt its offense back to life. Starting at right wing for Greenville, number 38, Cam Hausinger, the former Utah Grizzly, standing at 5'10", 192 pounds, native of Anchorage, Alaska. Will round up the starting forward group for the Swamp Rabbits. Hausinger on the season has 6 goals and 1 assist for 7 points in 16 games. Getting the start on the blue line for Greenville is the Swamp Rabbits captain and former Atlanta Gladiator, number 59, Josh Atkinson, standing at 6 foot even, 196, native of St. Albert, Alberta. Is in his first season as the captain of the Swamp Rabbits, his second season with Greenville overall. Atkinson has 2 goals and 8 assists for 10 points in 24 games and was a member of the Atlanta Gladiators to start his pro career from 2016 to 2018. He'll be paired up with number 5, Jake Murray, the assistant captain, standing at 6'3", 216, also a native of Oakville, Ontario. Murray this season is the Swamp Rabbits leader in plus minus as a +7. 7 apples on the season, 7 points. 777s for Jake Murray. 21 games played coming into the matchup here today. And getting a start between the pipes. We saw him last night. We'll see him again. Number 39, Pierce Charlson, the rookie from Aurora, Ontario, standing at 6'3", 195. Last night, Charlson stopped 29 of 31 in the overtime loss to these Gladiators. He'll be making his 9th start of the season here today with a record of 4-2-2, 2.93 goals against average, and an .890 save percentage on the campaign. Swamp Rabbits are led by head coach Chad Costello in his first season behind the bench, alongside assistant coach Jason Payne. Swamp Rabbits equipment manager is Tony Dainzer, and athletic trainer is Jocelyn Stillwell. Now let's get to the starting lineup for your Atlanta Gladiators getting the start on the third line. Number 7, Mickey Burns, standing at 5'9", 170, the native of Wayne, New Jersey, has 4 goals in 24 games this season. He'll be starting on a line with Joey Cipolone as his starting center. Cipolone, wearing number 71, stands at 5'11", 192, native of Purchase, New York, in his sophomore season in Atlanta, has 6 goals and 4 assists for 10 points in 24 games. His starting right wing here today is number 18, Carson Denemy, who caused quite the stir in the third period of last night's game, getting into it with Cam Hausinger. Denemy will look to back that up with a strong showing here today, standing at 6'1", 194, the native of Regina, Saskatchewan, has 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 points in 24 games. On the blue line, getting the start for the Gladiators, it's number 6, Andrew Jarvis at left defense, standing at 5'9", 181, the native of Morrisburg, Ontario, has 2 assists in 23 games this season. Jarvis wearing the A on his sweater will be paired with number 74, Dylan Carabia at right defense. Carabia, wearing number 74, stands at 6'3", 200 pounds, is a native of Sebastian, Florida, will be playing in his 4th game of the season here today. And getting the start between the pipes for the Gladiators here today is number 35, TJ Septenfelter, the rookie phenom, standing at 6'1", 190, native of Marlton, New Jersey, currently under contract with our AHL affiliate, the Milwaukee Admirals. Septenfelter has been nothing short of special. 9-3 record, 1.58 goals against average, 941 save percentage. He's the league leader amongst goaltenders in goals against average, and he is 3rd in save percentage. He has been incredible for Atlanta this season. He makes his 13th start of the season here tonight. In other news with the Gladiators, just 7 defensemen yesterday, back to the 12-6 formula. Riley Appelt back in the lineup. Anthony Furiolo is out. Mike McNamee still out due to injury, as is Jack Robilotti. Yoder and Furiolo are healthy scratches, as the Gladiators are led by head coach Matt Ginn, assistant coaches Zach Vanel, equipment manager Ben Ellis, and athletic trainer Nick Nelson. 3-man officiating crew here today, led by referee Tyler Haskell, who has refereed the last 3 Gladiators games. He'll be wearing number 8. Linesmen are Kyle Gaspari, wearing number 6'7", and the linesman alongside him is Sean Deloe, wearing number 95. Coming up next here from Gas South Arena, it's the national anthem from Duluth.
Will the captains from each team please report to the southwest corner for tonight's ceremony?
We are all set and ready to go from Gas South Arena. Is the Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits for the 6th time this season. Atlanta leading the season series 4-1, and they have won the last 4 against Greenville, 3 of those in overtime. In fact, the last 3 games between these two clubs have been decided in overtime, including last night a 2-1 Gladiators victory at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. This is the second and final game of a home-and-home and a 3-3 for the Gladiators. As I'm Guy Chiarenza, alongside Andrew Fleming here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Andrew, you've seen the Swamp Rabbits a lot this season, and every single time it has not disappointed.
Yeah, both these teams, we've played each other a lot so far to start this season. These guys don't like each other right now. They've seen a lot of each other over these last couple of weeks, so I'm expecting to see some fireworks tonight, Guy.
And we just might final game before the holiday break, and don't you worry, we'll see the Swamp Rabbits the day after Christmas, Boxing Day in Greenville. It's the second of 3 straight games between these two clubs. Gladiators and Swamp Rabbits donning the same jersey matchup that we saw last night in Greenville. Swamp Rabbits wearing a blue jersey with orange numbers and white trim. They skate from left to right to begin play. Gladiators wearing a white jersey with gladiator gold trim and blue numbers. Skate from right to left to kick things off. Our referee Tyler Haskell wearing number 8 will drop the puck. Linesmen are Kyle Gaspari wearing number 6-7 and Sean DeLoe wearing number 95. As Patrick Polino meets Joey Cipolone at center circle to get things started. Puck is dropped and we are underway from Gas South Arena. Cipolone wins it back to Carabia in the far corner. Slings it around to the near side for Mickey Burns. Chips it to the line. Momentum carries it out to center. Polino in front of the scorer's table. Will knife it into the far corner where Carabia meets it again. Off the wall to Cipolone. Squirm down the right wing. Gets stood up by Atkinson in front of the Greenville bench. Brought it to the net. Charleston makes his first stop. And Burns drives it from low to high. Off the bench. Shot by Walter. Screeches wide of Charleston. Rebound. Pushed out to center by Hausinger, and Atlanta has possession back. Last night we saw Atlanta get an early lead in the shot count as Nychuk delays for a shot by Boudon. Kick save made by Charleston. Walter behind the net on his forehand. Tries to push it over to the near side, ends up digging deeper. Savoy strips it away for Greenville, and Shandor will whack it out to the neutral zone, and Nychuk will have to hunt it down.
Yep, good start for the Gladiators here. Some good O-zone pressure by this top line of Sylvester, Boudon, and Walter.
That has been the terrific 3 for the Gladiators as of late. Isaac Walter, Louis Boudon, both with goals in back-to-back games. As a centering pass by Savoy goes through the slot on the left side. Berg knocks it back up top to Sheriff. Dante Sheriff finds a man down low. Centering feed for Savoy. Goes through the slot again. He was tied up with Nychuk. Great defensive play there.
Yeah, great stick lift by Chad Nychuk in front of his own net, preventing a grade A opportunity.
Nychuk picked up 2 assists last night in Greenville, factored in on both goals. First from Walter and the second on the overtime winner from Boudon. Nychuk now leads the team in multi-point games this season with 7. As Francis comes in on the left side, looks to center, ends up hitting Sheriff, boomeranging to the slot, and Dante Sheriff for Greenville is able to pick it up and turn up ice. Sheriff feeds right on time for Modry. Just to drop it back to the forward O'Reilly. Gladiators sniff it out, bang it down the length of the ice, and it will go down as an icing. 2:08 into the first.
Yeah, pretty good start here for the Gladiators. Thought their first couple of shifts had some decent O-zone time, couple good shots on net. That's the way you want to start a Sunday game, Quick turnaround with travel last night. You just want to get out here, get some positive momentum going forward on these first couple shifts.
Ended up working out quite well for the Gladiators last night. That game was a 6:05 start time due to it being Peanuts night in Greenville, so they watched the Charlie Brown Christmas special afterwards. All the fans stayed in attendance, and Gladiators got home a bit earlier than normal. Got back around 11 o'clock, got some good night's rest. Back here for the Sunday game to finish off the home and home. Greenville arrived earlier in the day as John Parker Jones takes it in on the near side. On his forehand, pushes it to the point for Lovell. Back down along the wall goes Parker Jones, taking the return feed in the corner. Pushes back up the wall, and it's intercepted by Francis. Great read by number 86 in white. Looking cross ice, wanted Nolan, but he was already off to the bench, and Francis will do the same. Now on comes the 4th line for the Gladiators. Reunited from 2 nights ago, Morgan, Scardina, and Appelt. Gladiators dressed 7 defensemen last night in Greenville and only 11 forwards. As Furiola was in and Appelt was out. Now, It is the opposite here today on a Sunday afternoon in Duluth. Poisson wheels the puck around the boards to the right point for Murray. Snapshot towards the goal, doesn't get there as it's blocked by Jarvis. And now over center circle is Peter Morgan to pop it into the far wall. Riley Appelt digging there, leaves it for Morgan, centering feed behind Scardina, and Greenville will take it up ice. Scardina able to wrestle away from Brett Peterson, sashay his way down the left wing walls. The puck is jabbed to the far corner. Morgan gets there, shifts to his forehand from the trapezoid, next with Scardina. Morgan gets checked, pushing that pass to Scardina. Springs back up to his feet and stations in the slot. Feed from Appelt goes off a stick and away to Morgan, who regains possession on the far wall. Scardina from the right side has it knocked off his stick by Murray. Now Poisson regains possession for Greenville, and they will start their next breakout. Atkinson fumbling with it, able to get around Denemy, but ends up turning it over. Cipolone left side shot, stopped by Charlson on the backhand attempt, and he will cover with 15:58 left in the first.
Yeah, good forecheck by Carson Denemy there to force that turnover by Greenville. Joey Cipolone, man on the spot, picking up that puck. Getting a good backhanded opportunity on net there, but a nice save by Charlson.
And Josh Atkinson thought he had that puck contained, ended up bobbling a little bit. Got around Carson Denemy, one of the first forecheckers, but that second effort from Cipolone, able to steal it away and set up that chance for the shot on Charlson. Gladiators with 2 shots on goal to this point. Swamp Rabbits have yet to register a shot as we are 4:03 into the first period. That Cipolone line will stay out there. Cipolone with Burns and Denemy. Face off on the near circle. Cipolone wins it to the line. Night shot from long range. Fires! Gets deflected in front and goes wide right of Charlson. They'll battle for it in the near corner. Up along the end wall. 2 Gladiators, 3 Swamp Rabbits. Greenville with numbers tries to sneak away, but those Gladiators fighting hard and mighty. Cipolone digs it out. Greenville gets the last touch. Swats it to the Gladiator line where it's hauled in by Mateer. He is pressured by Ryan O'Hara, the forechecker for Greenville. He sets up possession for his team. Berg around the boards finds Hausinger in the near corner. On his forehand, spurns it deeper for O'Hara. He gets caught up to by Mateer, who kicks it to the left wing for Burns. He'll slide it out to center, looking for Denemy, but Greenville cuts that off. In is Polino on the right wing. Puck juggled off of his stick, and now Denemy goes cross-ice looking for Cipolone. Ends up hitting a stick. Polino's got it back on the near side, just wires it around the boards to the left wing as Hausinger think that O'Hara was crashing in. Now Boudon with it, dances down the left wing with speed. Lifts it into the far corner, chases it himself. Gets there, tries to jab it from low to high, but Greenville is able to get in front of it. Hudson Shandor had a goal yesterday. Tries to power towards the net, drops it off. Chance for Lovell, backhand try, blocked in the slot by Conroy. Got down on one knee, he cut off the passing lane. Now Walter tries to bulldoze his way into Greenville ice. Swamp Rabbits nip that in the bud, and they come in on the right side. Shandor off the end wall, has Sheriff on the far end, and Boudon swats it away to create a chance up ice for the Gladiators. Looks to center for Walter, leapt over his stick. Sylvester forechecking, goes crashing hard into the near corner. As on his backhand, centers for Boudon, shot is blocked. Rebound to Conroy, and a long shot is gloved down by Charlson. Frozen with 14:08 left in the first.
Yeah, I want to go back to that blocked pass by Ryan Conroy just now in the Gladiator zone. It was a great pass across, because if that pass got through, Dante Sheriff was wide open on the back door for a tap-in. But smart by Conroy, getting down on a knee, using his body to break up that pass.
That first line heads off for the Gladiators. Face off to the right of Charlson. Young will take it. Going up against O'Reilly. Wins it to Francis. Shot gets blocked in the slot. Young, the second chance. Screeches over the crossbar and away to center. Carabia will track it down in his own end of the ice. Quick series of passes, and Young is on the move. On the right wing, gets dragged down, draws the penalty, and we will see the Eco-Electric power play for the first time today when we come back with 13:46 left in the first period. Scoreless at Gas South. We're back after this. Gladiators do the eco-electric power play here. As in the box is John Parker Jones for the Swamp Rabbits. Tripping was the call as Alex Young was surging forward, and here is the first power play unit for the Gladiators, operating at 18.2% on the season, is Atlanta's power play. Went 0 for 1 yesterday, 15th best in the ECHL to this point, as Walter looks to center. On the back door was Young, but couldn't drive it in. And so at the line is Nychuk. He'll serve it to his right. Boudon back to Nychuk. Goes back to Boudon. Centers for Young. Back to Boudon. Puts it towards the goal. Ends up being held out by Charleston and company. And the puck will go to the far corner. Sylvester to the line for Nychuk. Drifting left. Looking downhill. Now he moves to his right. Feeds it left wing for Young. Climbs up the circle. Dishes down low. Touch pass to Boudon. And his shot gets blocked by Murray. Rebound to Nychuk on the right wing from the corner. Has Walter behind the net. Tries to stuff it along the left wing. Greenville sniffs it out. And they will punch it out of the zone with 1:08 left on the penalty to John Parker Jones.
Yeah, pretty good opportunity to start that power play for the Gladiators. A little passing play on the wall between Alex Young and Louis Boudon led to a pretty good chance out front.
Greenville penalty kill, one of the best in the league, 85.7%, 2 for 2 last night. All right, went 1 for 1 last night. Gladiators went 2 for 2 on the penalty kill in Greenville. As the Swamp Rabbits get another clear. Nychuk, still the lone remnant of the first unit. Serves up to the neutral zone and now heads off to the bench. Second unit fully on. Francis dives in on the right side, looks to center, hits a stick and goes wide the slot. Burns in the near corner, tries to keep the play alive, but Greenville able to touch it out to center. And a 2-on-1 shorthanded for the Swamp Rabbits. Berg across, blocked by Mateer. Francis scoots in on the left wing, tries to cut across. Gladiators are offside with 8 seconds left on the power play.
Yeah, Gladiators got caught in the offensive zone a little too deep, leading to a 2-on-1 for Greenville. But a great play by Mateer, reading that pass the whole way and using his skates to break up that 2-on-1 pass.
Mateer was the lone man back, makes the defensive stand. Fourth line out there for the Gladiators is the penalty to John Parker Jones. Expires right now, and he climbs out of the box. And when we are back to even strength. So Atlanta, a couple of good things on that power play, but not what they were certainly looking for. And so now there still is a scoreless game with 8.5 minutes gone by in the first. Hausinger on the left side. Ladles it to the trapezoid. Conroy smacks it to his left. On time for a pump. He flings it to the middle. Atlanta tries to go up ice, but Greenville able to step in front of it. On the right wing, O'Hara takes it in. Moving to his forehand, shifts to the backhand, tries to escape Conroy, but great pressure there from Conroy. Forces O'Hara into a shot that's gloved up by Septemfelter with 11:02 on the clock.
Yeah, nice first easy save for Septemfelter. 9 minutes in, getting his first shot against. Nice little easy glove save to get him broken into this game.
And that is the Gladiators when they are at their best, playing that north style of hockey, keeping things to the outside, doing a really good job of limiting shots against. Making things easy for TJ Septemfelter, but don't be mistaken, he has had some great saves of his own this season. And Sylvester and company jam it out the center. Walter on the left wing slides it across. Boudon fires for a glove save by Charleston.
Nice little deception by Louis Boudon there. Received the pass from Isaac Walter. Faked like he was going to pass it back to Walter, then tried to rip one up top over the glove of Charleston, but Charleston read it, made a nice glove save.
And there are the big dogs, as you like to call them, Walter, Andrew, the terrific three, Walter, Boudon, Sylvester, and congratulations is in order for Cody Sylvester, playing in game 257 with the Gladiators here today. Now 5th place on the Gladiators all-time games played list, passing Tyler Murovich here today. Certainly one of the Gladiators' all-time greats. Stays out there on that first line as Greenville has it deep in their own end. Atkinson leading the charge, distributes right wing for Brackett. Gladiators wrestle it away from him, and moving up ice is Walter. Tries to deke his way towards the net, but gets shoved off of it by Murray. Puck goes to the far corner. Atlanta center. Sylvester in front is knocked off of it by Atkinson, and Greenville skates it out to center.
Great pass by Boudon from the corner. Just such a deceptive player. Just hit Sylvester right on the tape. Just wasn't able to finish it.
Former Gladiator makes a good defensive stand against his former team. As Sylvester heads off, and on comes the second line. Greenville on the right wing, bangs it around the boards to the left side. Shandor gets tipped off of it. Nolan tries to punch it through center, jumbles to center circle. Francis has it, feeds it back to Nolan. Right wing, steers it around. Young from the trapezoid tries to slink away from behind Charleston. Plays it from low to high. Shot by Carabia, blocked at the line. Rebound to the slot. They jam for it, and Greenville's got it up ice. And here is a fast breakout for the Swamp Rabbits. You've seen this a time or two. Cross ice pass off the skate of Sheriff. Atlanta able to punch it out. Francis wing to wing for Nolan. Tries to cut up ice. Bullies his way to the right wing. Tries to feed it to the slot for Young. Hits a skate and goes to the far corner. Good defensive play by Lovell. Now Sheriff on the right wing. Has a man open in the neutral zone in Savoy. Tries to play back a little bit, but forechecking from Burns and Denemy. Divorce him from the puck. On the left wing, Sheriff jams it ahead. O'Reilly in tight. Shut down at the top of the blue paint. Puck leaks over to the near side. Les has got it for Atlanta. Over the red line, feeds it to his right for Denemy. And Atlanta is offside on the zone entry with 8:43 to go in the first. Still no score here at Gas South Arena in what is becoming deja vu from last night to tonight. No score after one yesterday, and to this point, zeros on the board here at Gas South. We're back after this.
This holiday season, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your holiday needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Desserts are popping up on Crumble Shake. All types of dessert.
More than just cookies.
The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
8:43 left in the first period here at Gas South Arena. Scoreless affair to this point, and the first period last night was scoreless in Greenville. Gladiators have now participated in 7 scoreless first periods this season. As they try and get something going in the attacking zone, Greenville tries to scuttle out. Lovell spins away from the pressure from Burns. Long pass to the neutral zone, picked off by Les. Slides it left wing for Conroy, and he'll catapult it from corner to corner back to the far end. Cipollone tries to wrestle away from the Swamp Rabbits in deep, but Greenville will look up ice as they chip it over the red line. Skips over Gladiator Blue. Les has got it again. Takes a crunch along the boards. Able to knock it back to Conroy. Gladiators shovel it from right to left. Les from the red line, wires it from corner to corner to the far side. Cipollone back to work, centers for a quick chance to Morgan right off the bench, but didn't get a lot of wood on it. Cipollone has the rebound, finds a pelt along the right wing wall, springs it to the slot, but nobody home. Greenville up ice, O'Reilly on the right wing, takes it in stride, kept to the wall by Mateer. Great play to divorce him from the puck, and now Scardina will take it up ice. Back and forth games these are, Atlanta and Greenville. Scardina from the slot, fires, save made by Charleston. Took it right above the hash marks between the circles. Charleston ready for the save, and remains a scoreless game as Greenville will take its chances up ice. Atlanta nips it in the butt at the line. Here is Morgan, right wing shot, save made by Charleston with 7:13 left in the first.
Yeah, very deceptive pass by Ethan Scardina there on that zone entry. Pulled the defenseman with him and then made a no-look backhand pass to Peter Morgan, who was flying down the right wing. Got a good opportunity and another good save by Charleston there.
That was a heck of a pass by Ethan Scardina there, the product out of Bowling Green State. He's become a staple of the Gladiators lineup so far this season. Scardina, 2 goals and 2 assists to this point this year. Had 7 goals and 9 assists for 16 points in 35 games last year in his senior year at Bowling Green. As off the face-off to resume action, Sylvester and Atkinson tumble over each other, so we'll do it again. Sylvester first joined the Gladiators back in 2021. Atkinson left in 2018. And so while these two are both Sylvester now current, Atkinson former Gladiators, they did not play together. They are not former teammates. Shot from the line, blocked in front. Hausinger's got it on the right wing. Shimmies it across for Polino. He's got it on the run. Stops on a dime, tries to fling it across from the point. Ends up getting cut off by the Gladiators to lift it the length of the ice. No icing. Murray forced to hunt it down. From the red line, Jarvis taps it to Boudon. It's caught in a traffic jam right in front of the visitors' penalty box. Greenville will just smack it into Atlanta territory from the end wall. Carabia retrieves. He'll jolt it to Walter on the right wing. Has Boudon in the neutral zone. He'll gain the red line and waffle it on goal. Charleston keeps things moving. 6:27 left in the first period. Greenville looking to break out. Polino stretches it across, looking for Brackett, ends up icing the puck. 6:19 to go in period 1. And for first period so far this season for the Gladiators, they've done a good job of scoring in the first period. They've scored 21 first period goals this season, but what's more impressive is the fact that they've held their opponent just 12 goals in the first period this season. That is the second best figure in the ECHL this year, as only the Maine Mariners have allowed less first period goals, with 10 to this point. It just speaks volumes as to how good of a defensive team this Gladiators team is and how well they are ready to play right out of the gate. On the left wing, Les chips it to the trapezoid. Nolan on the left wing wall, plays it up top to the line. Les, a shot snapped up by the glove of Charleston, was screened in front by Francis, and that puck may have come close to coming out, but nonetheless, 6 minutes left in the first. Charleston's got it, and we'll get another face-off near his area.
Yeah, it's a good shot on goal there by Brendan Les from the point. Point shot, getting it through a couple of bodies on net. Had Francis there to clean up a rebound if there was one, but Charleston did a good job of gobbling that puck up.
Face-off on the near circle. Young will take it and win it. Looking for Nolan, although good force from Brackett. Jams him out to center. Atlanta forced to regroup and reload. There's Brendan Les. Scoots it to Francis. Back to Les on the right circle. Cross to Conroy. He'll turn up ice and lead the charge. Passes left wing for Nolan. Connects with Francis, moving up ice. Return pass to Nolan. Gets cut off by Rigo. Young behind the net. Centers for a chance by Francis. Stopped by Charleston. Rebound to Young. He'll play it up top to Nychuk. Cross ice feed, on time for Conroy. Spinorama away from the pressure. Backhands to the slot. Young is there, but can't get a shot away. Defensive play made by Brackett. Young drops it for Francis. Left side shot. Nolan's chance is turned away by Charleston. That's becoming the Pierce Charleston show. A couple of great saves there for the Greenville netminder. Swamp Rabbits iced the puck in a hurry to just get rid of the puck. 5:04 left in the first.
Yeah, great shift there by this Gladiator second line. What an effort by Alex Young from his stomach, forcing a turnover, getting the puck to Ryan Francis, who walks down the slot, makes a nice pass over to Ryan Nolan for a one-timer. And again, another great save by Charleston.
Charleston making his 9th start of the season here today. The Gladiators win the offensive zone face-off. Nychuk plugs it into the far corner. Peterson gets there. Greenville with tired bodies trying to get off the ice. Jolted out the center. Nychuk pulls it in. Greenville able to get one man off as Poisson heads to the bench. Cipollone on the forecheck. Trying to wreak some havoc as Atlanta gets possession back. Denemy to Nychuk. Left point back to Denemy. Along the wall, they trade places. Denemy fires. Shot goes wide. And behind the play, Mickey Burns got pushed down to the ice. Now back up on his feet. He'll rejoin the fray. Burns now heading towards the bench. We'll keep an eye on him. Hopefully he's all right. Caught in a battle along the goal line on the near side. That is how these games have been, Andrew. Just very hard fought, and a couple of those moments in yesterday's game, and they're only going to get bigger and badder as the season series wears on.
Yep, when you play a team like this as many times as you do, games tend to get a little more chippier as you go along.
You get to see any after the whistle stuff to this point. The Sheriff from the right circle shoots wide of the net. Good stick lift by Carabia. Rebound comes to Morgan, and he will jet up ice. Peter Morgan to Scardina. Back to Morgan below the circle. Centers for a pelt. Goes on goal. Save made Charleston. Now Carabia, a bomb. Save rebound by Jarvis. Blockered away. What a chance there for Andrew Jarvis. Just kind of shanked it from the left circle. Net was wide open. Now here is Sheriff wide open. Stretch pass. Tries to dangle by Suttonfelter. And he makes the save. Scardina up ice. Pulls it in on the left wing. Gets mobbed off of it. O'Reilly on the right wing. Feathers it to the line. Murray drifting left. Doesn't shoot, goes around the net. Still on his forehand, plays it to O'Reilly. Stiff breaks. Sylvester moves up ice with Walter. Sylvester left wing, forced to the outside. Great defensive play by Atkinson. Those two have been battling all day long. Walter to Sylvester. Up to the line, and Conroy wasn't ready for it. Puck comes out to center. 2:42 left in the first period. Still scoreless in Duluth.
Yeah, we went a couple minutes with some stagnant play, I'll say, and it's just been wide open for these last couple of minutes.
Berg from point to point has Rigo on the right side. He'll shimmy down the wall from the corner. Has a man behind the net. It's Polino. On his forehand. Cycles up high. Moving towards his right. Takes a shot. Kick save Suttonfelter. They try and plug it in. And Suttonfelter is ready. Denies Rigo at the goal line. 2:15 left in the first period. Atlanta leading the shot count 9-1, but both squads still looking for their first goal. We're back after this. This game still scoreless with 2:15 left in the first. You still have a chance to make your pick as to who is going to score the first goal of the game and who is going to factor in on the first assist. Presented by Hancock, Whitney Bank, and Pinnacle Promotions, respectively. Head on over to our social media platforms to make your guess. And yes, there are prizes involved. Gladiators dump the puck down. Charleston will leave it for Rigo. And the defenseman, who is currently under contract with Greenville's AHL affiliate, the Ontario Reign, will really wait things out, looking for an avenue to pass. Doesn't like what he sees, and so now the Boo Birds will raid down on him. And now finally, will shimmy it up ice. Pass is picked off by Nolan. Feeds it to the right wing for a shot that's turned away by the stick of Charleston. Greenville lifts it out to center. Juggling is O'Hara on the left wing. Drops it back. Pass behind Hausinger. It'll skip out to the neutral zone, and Atlanta will pick it up. Francis on the right wing weaves down the middle. Commotion behind the scene as Nolan joins the play. Takes a shot. Save made by Charleston. Rebound overskated by Nolan. Young leaves it for Francis. On his forehand, cycles up to the high slot. Drifting right, Francis peels back. Now backhands it to the left wing for Carabia. He'll stash it down into the near corner. Waiting there is Young. Final minute of the first period. Gladiators continue to press. Francis pinned up against the near wall. Sees the puck taken in by Lovell. He'll dart to his right, stop at the point, and just serve it around to the trapezoid where Sutton floats it to the neutral zone. Pulled back in by Greenville. Denemy trying to make a case for it. Gets caught in a tussle with Brackett. Greenville moves up ice. Drop pass, back across. Waiting was Passon. Carabia had it covered. Able to nick it into the far wall. Now on the right wing, cross-ice pass makes its way to Modry. 20 seconds left in the period. Looks to center and didn't have the angle. Taken away by Mickey Burns out to center. Burns will fire it down deep. Charleston from the trapezoid slows it down. Now on the far wall, Morgan gets into the action. Tries to dig it out from the half wall. 5 seconds left in the period. And out of the pile-up, Cipollone able to get to a shot on the right wing, but at the buzzer, Charleston punches away the bid from Les, and we are scoreless after 1 in Duluth. Gladiators lead the shot count 10-2 after 1 period of play, but no goals on the board. The 2 shots against in the first period. That is the season low for a Gladiator opponent. Atlanta doing a nice job of keeping things to the outside, making things easy for TJ Seppenfelter. We'll talk all about that on the other side of the break as we review the first period and preview the second. You'll be joined by Andrew and Shelby here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. As once again, Greenville and Atlanta scoreless here at Gas South Arena. We are back for the first intermission report after this.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. I'm here with Andrew. We're going to be talking about everything that happened in that first period. But first, let's check out those scores. It is scoreless here after the first period. Atlanta has 11 shots on goal, and the Greenville Swamp Rabbits with only 2. Atlanta is dominating after that first period offensively. But first, let's look at our past games this weekend. Atlanta has played for 3 straight games. They had a Friday game here on home ice playing Jacksonville Icemen. They won 3-2, and last night they were in Greenville playing the Swamp Rabbits. They won in overtime. Louis Boudon with that game-winning goal, and he's been red hot as of late. We're going to talk about him more in this intermission report, but first let's talk about that first period. What are you seeing so far in this game, Andrew? I know there was a little bit of a turnaround time, but not as big as the last time they had back-to-back games out of state and back here in Duluth.
Yeah, what I really liked from the Gladiators in that first period was their forecheck. I thought they forechecked very well on this Greenville defense. They forced a couple of turnovers in Greenville's defensive zone that led to some good offensive opportunities for the Gladiators, and I love the way they defended. I thought they clogged up the neutral zone very well. We can see Greenville only ended up with 2 shots on goal in that first period, so I thought the Gladiators did a really good job of keeping pucks to the outside and really clogging up the neutral zone and forcing Greenville to dump the puck in where the Gladiators are able to gain possession and get out of their zone cleanly. So I really like what I saw from the Gladiators in that first period, and I hope it continues in the second.
Yeah, was there any plays that you saw that really caught your eye this period?
Well, I really like the play of the Gladiators' fourth line. Riley Appelt, Ethan Scardina, and Peter Morgan. You know, that line recently put together here. And when we've seen Riley Appelt in the lineup, I've really liked his game. He plays a heavy, good forechecking game. He's a bigger body. He's able to get in on the forecheck, force those turnovers, lay some hits, which is what I've really liked from him. And Scardina and Morgan, They're smaller but quicker guys. We saw a great zone entry. Ethan Scardina at the puck out in the neutral zone. No look backhand pass to Morgan as Scardina drew the defenseman towards him. No look backhand pass to Morgan, who's flying in from the right wing and got a pretty good opportunity on goal. So I really like the way that this Gladiators fourth line has played today, and I'd like to see that continue for them in the second and as we go throughout this game.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to pay attention to that because I know you've talked so much about different players, and I've definitely noticed them more as the season has gone on due to what you've been saying in these intermission reports. I wanted to point out that Gladiators power play, unfortunately, it was unsuccessful. We saw Greenville do a 2-on-1, but Mateer broke up that pass, not letting that goal happen in that first period.
Yeah, I liked what I saw from the Gladiators' first power play unit. I thought they moved the puck pretty well, using Alex Young in the bumper and Louis Baudon on the right wing there. I thought they had some decent opportunities on goal, just not able to cash in. And then the second unit got out there, got caught a little deep in Greenville's zone. They will spring a 2-on-1, but a great play by Mateer, using his feet to break up that 2-on-1.
Yeah, it's been amazing seeing how much this power play has evolved as the season has gone on. I talked to Guy about it a little bit on Friday since they did score a power play goal. And at the early stages of the season, we didn't see any of that. So it's been cool to see how much they've improved in the special teams as the season has pushed forward. So let me cycle back to Louis Baudon. I have a couple of his stats. I got to talk to him after the game on Friday. I practiced my French. I don't know if no one knows this, but I'm French Canadian, and I took a lot of French in high school, and I didn't remember a lot, but he seemed to appreciate the fact that I tried.
Well, that's good.
So maybe that's a win. A win is a win,
oh,
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, our stats for Louis Baudon, he's leading in points, 27 in total, with 9 goals and 18 assists. Now, I talked to him asking him what exactly is working for him, and he mentioned how, it's important to play with that same line. And he's been on that first line with Isaac Walter, who's been doing incredible as well, and Cody Sylvester. And as a former hockey player, how important is it to play on the same lines for a long period of time?
Yeah, at that point, it's all about chemistry. The longer you play with the same line mates, at a certain point, you just kind of know where each other are going to be without even having to look. So if you know where a guy is going to be, you can get it to him without much of an effort. I think it's just chemistry, knowing who you're out there with, how they play the game specifically as well, because I've said it before, obviously Baudon's that center. He knows that he's got a big winger on his right in Isaac Walter, who's a big winger who can skate well and uses his body to protect the puck. And then on his left, he's got Cody Sylvester, who's a savvy veteran, knows how to play in this league, has played in this league for a long time. So I think just playing with guys more, building that chemistry, and knowing them more as a hockey player is huge.
Yeah, we talked about him leading in assists for the team, and he was so humble about it. He talked about how much he loves setting up his teammates for creating goals, and he doesn't want to be the sole person getting those chances. He wants to give it to his teammates as well, and I thought that was really nice.
Yeah, if you can be one of those guys who's a good passer, it just feels so good. I mean, honestly, sometimes an assist is even better than a goal, because you kind of set that up and you still get a point for it. So yeah, I love the way Louis Baudon's been playing recently, and obviously just this whole entire season, he's been a huge player for this Gladiators team so far.
We're going to talk more about our big players in this season when we come back from the break. But first, I want to know what your favorite holiday tradition is. And I also want to know what yours is, if you want to put it in that chat, and me and Andrew will talk about it when we come back. But if you want to answer first, you want to wait till the break.
I think I'll take the break to think about it.
Yeah, fair enough. Again, it is scoreless here after the first period. We're going to be talking more about everything that happened and our star players when we come back.
Desserts are popping up on purple menus.
More than just cookies.
The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
everyone. Welcome back to Duluth. I'm here with Andrew. We're talking more about everything that happened in that period and what we want to see coming up in the second. Again, it is scoreless here in Duluth. The Gladiators have 11 shots on goal, and the Greenville Swamp Rabbits have 2. Now, before we headed to the break, I asked Andrew what his favorite holiday tradition is, and I want to know what yours is. So comment in the YouTube chat, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the intermission. So I'm excited to see what everyone has to say. I'm excited to share what I have, but first, let's talk about what you want to see in this second period, Andrew.
Yeah. I just want to see the Gladiators kind of continue what they did in that first period. Obviously, Gladiators leading a shot count 11-2 in that first period. I thought they had a really good first period. And though he only saw 2 shots against him, I thought TJ Semptimfelter stood tall when he had to. We saw a great breakout pass by Greenville out of their own zone, hitting Dante Sheriff, who's a very good scorer, a very good player for Greenville. Hit him at the far blue line. He came in on a breakaway, trying to go backhand, forehand, and then back in the 5-hole, but Semptimfelter read it the entire way. So though TJ Semptimfelter didn't have a lot of action in that period when he was called upon, I thought he stood very tall for the Gladiators. Obviously, his only real big save being that one on that breakaway. But overall, I thought the Gladiators forechecked really well in that first period. I'd love to see that continue. I mean, they have a lot of guys who are bigger bodies who are really good on the forecheck. Guys like Isaac Walter, Riley Appelt, who I mentioned, Ryan Nolan, Carson Denemy. All these guys who are bigger bodies were able to force defensemen into turnovers by just how hard they forecheck, and it creates opportunities for the Gladiators. We've seen them do that so many times this year, and it leads to good opportunities. And I love the way they defended in that first period, keeping everything to the outside. Obviously, only giving up 2 shots on goal in a period is a very good stat for your defense. They clogged the neutral zone well, and they were able to play very well in transition, getting pucks up and into the Greenville zone.
Yeah, they've been playing really good offensively here today, and I know we've seen the Swamp Rabbits play here before. They are very fast-paced game, and I know that Coach Matt Ginn had said one of the keys of the games was to manage their speed, and I think they definitely accomplished that here in the first period, and I would love to see that continue in the second period as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously giving up that big chance to Sheriff, that's not a guy that you want to let in alone on a breakaway, the kind of player he is. But obviously Semptimfelter with a huge save. But overall, I do think that the Gladiators really did do a good job of limiting Greenville's speed. They were able to clog up the neutral zone, force turnovers at their own blue line, force turnovers at Greenville's blue line, and just didn't really give them anything offensively in that first period.
Yeah, it's great period here so far. Hopefully that continues in the second period. And you bring up TJ Semptimfelter. I talked to him last game, and did you know that he doesn't look up his stats?
That's interesting.
No. As a hockey player yourself, is that something you would you look up your stats, or would you, is there a reason why you wouldn't do that?
Well, I understand why for a goalie he doesn't, because, he's such a good goalie that, maybe, you're looking at your stats, he sees that, all right, I got the best goals against average in the league. I got the 3rd best save percentage in the league. Obviously, I don't think he's this type of person, but maybe he'd kind of slack off a little bit if he's like, oh, all right, I got this in the bag. I don't think TJ's that kind of guy, but, in some scenarios, you see those stats, it's like, all right, you come a little complacent, but as I said, I think that's just kind of his thing. You know, whatever he's doing is obviously working for him. So if he doesn't want to look at the stats, he shouldn't.
Yeah,
you know?
and I did ask him that if he wanted to share any of his rituals, because I know as an athlete, many people do have a routine before they play whatever sport that they are. And he said that he jump ropes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting too. I should have asked him if he's ever done double dutch. Maybe I'll ask him that tonight. But again, before we head back into the second period, I want to ask you what your favorite holiday tradition is.
Yeah,
do you have an answer for me?
I think I do. I think I was able to come up with one.
You thought about it.
Yeah. My grandparents are watching, and whenever we do Christmas with my grandparents, my grandmother always makes chicken parm, which is one of my favorite dishes. So I'd have to go with my grandmother's chicken parm on Christmas, on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Are you heading home for Christmas
Yes,
this year?
I am.
Okay,
I will be.
nice.
So yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
Good, good. I'm also heading back to Michigan tomorrow, actually, and my favorite tradition is every year my uncle breaks out the bingo wheel. He has the whole setup. We play bingo every year. We have prizes, and sometimes they're better than others. There's candy, there's scratch off lottery tickets, And I've only ever won $2. But that's
Those
$2.
things are hard to win, yeah.
But it's so much fun. I've never ever played bingo legit in a bingo hall or anything, but I've heard they get pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it does. Yeah.
Do you play any games?
Not really. No, I don't think so. I'm trying to think.
Maybe you gotta bring bingo into it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we like to play just like regular, like card games, like Rummy. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Let's see what everyone's saying in the chat. What their favorite tradition is.
Oh, Peach Fuzz coming in here. Holiday tradition is a massive seafood dinner. Christmas Eve. Nice, Peach Fuzz. I love that. That's a very good tradition.
My aunt always cooks and it's amazing. She always tries a new recipe and I love it every time.
That's awesome.
So Stadium Arena 1992 asked me what my favorite Italian food is. I actually work as a server in an Italian place because I love Italian food. I did study abroad in Italy.
Oh, wow.
And honestly, the food has never tasted the same. But what is my favorite? Okay, carbonara. The spaghetti carbonara is so good. If you get a traditional Italian carbonara, it's made with egg. So it's like an egg sauce with bacon.
Okay.
Amazing. The place that I work at now, they do a tortellini carbonara.
Okay.
I had it yesterday.
Oh.
I'm obsessed. It's so good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll butt in here. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I would have to say chicken parm. I'm a very big fan of chicken parm. So.
But also, if you get the right kind of pizza, like a margarita pizza.
Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, and the right kind of pizza oven. Oh, amazing.
A good pizza, you can't beat it. You can't beat a good slice of pizza.
Okay. Does anyone else have any holiday traditions that they do?
Justin asking, how many minutes till second period starts? We got about 2.5 minutes left.
Yeah, it looks like the Gladiators.
The boys will be back on the ice soon here.
I see them over there. They're warming up.
Yep, they're
TJ's
standing in the tunnel.
Getting a jump rope. Getting a quick jump rope in here.
I think it would be pretty hard to jump rope in all that goalie gear.
Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
He'd probably cut the rope with his feet.
That's true. Well, when we come back, Guy will be here, and he has a your call for second period, which should be really fun. And again, we are scoreless here in Duluth, and we will see you after the break.
Desserts are popping up on Crumbles menu.
More than just cookies.
The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
It feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. We are ready and set for the second period to play, and I've got a special guest, Vinny. Vinny, you've been called up to the broadcast booth. Welcome to your call. Happy to have you on here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Should be a fun second period here. No scoring in the first period, although we've seen that a lot this year. That is the 8th time the Gladiators have been in a scoreless first period this season. But good news, I think things are going to open up here in the second period. Gladiators are a much better scoring team as the game goes on. And so it should be a lot of fun here as we go on. Tell me where you've been sitting so far here today.
Yeah, so far, the first period, we were actually right behind the Gladiators penalty box there, so can't ask for getting much closer to the action. And now I feel like I'm probably about as far away as I can,
They're way
get from
up in the
action
rafters
up
here.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, the broadcast booth here at Gas South Arena is way up on the catwalk level. We're actually looking directly across. You can see the catwalk, so hope you're not scared of heights.
This is great.
Lino meets Cipollone at center circle, and we are back for the start of the second period. Polino on the right wing, flings it across. Cipollone takes it in on the blue line, and now controlling for Greenville is Atkinson. Slams it down the wall all the way through center. It's going to go down as an icing against Greenville. Just 19 seconds gone by in the second period. Vinny, we still have a chance to make a pick as to who we think is going to score the first goal of the game because of the scoreless first period. So, who on the Gladiators side is your pick?
I feel like I like O'Hara.
He's from Greenville. Go for me. It could be good. We'll make a play. Take a pick one for each.
All right. Give me Alex Young. I like it.
Young's been good this year. As the Gladiators try and set up shop in the attacking zone, they'll skyhook it to the neutral zone. Taking it in is Jarvis, drifting towards his right from the right point. Tries to find an angle on goal that's speared away by Charleston. Puck will plop down on the far wall. Denemy takes it, tries to hurl it back to Burns, and Polino gets in front of that and is able to jab it to the near side. Atkinson will clear out the center. Hausinger and Jarvis collide at the red line. Puck leaks free. In is Polino on the left wing. Takes a shot. Septemfelter fights it off, and the rebound plops down on the right wing. Swamp Rabbits trying to keep the play alive. Getting in front of it is Jarvis. Stands up a man at the blue line, and Atlanta forces out to center. Little over a minute gone by here in the second period. Atkinson laying back to his own end, angles it off the wall to Savoy, and he almost overskates it for a second there. Silvestro is in the area. Good forechecking by the Gladiators. Forces Greenville off the puck. As now Sylvester takes it in on the left wing. Feeds it across, right between Boudon and Walter. They'll chase it down into the near corner. Berg, the defenseman, back for Greenville. Just pins it up against the wall. Trying to get some kind of possession for the Swamp Rabbits. Meanwhile, Boudon jousting with Shandor. Greenville peels it off the wall. Mateer can't keep it in. Shandor turns up ice, developing 2-on-1 for Greenville. Shandor across, broken up by Nychuk. Great play as a shot goes on goal. It's turned away by Septemfelter. Now at the right point, Rigo keeps it alive. From high to low, he'll steer it around to the left wing for Berg. Cross-ice feed. Whistle is blown. 17:58 left on the game clock as Septemfelter lost his mask, so Dante Sheriff with some good sportsmanship is going to pick that up and give it back to Septemfelter. And he'll put it back on. The Gladiators will get a line change in, and there is Alex Young. That's your pick as to who you think is going to score the first goal for the Gladiators. And so, Vinny, we'll see how the Gladiators look with this line out here, but they've looked really well so far here today.
Yeah, big D-zone face-off here. Let's see if we can get a clean breakout, and let's see if with my pick here, let's see if Alex Young can get one.
Looks like Young is going to take this face-off for the Gladiators. And Young is really one of those jack-of-all-trades kind of guys. He can do pretty much anything that he's asked to do. Looks like he'll take this face-off against Ryan O'Reilly. The Septemfelter's ready to go. Puck is dropped, and we are back. St. Louis is in off the face-off to Francis. He motors through the neutral zone and gets scrubbed off the puck by Berg. Francis on the forecheck trying to get it back, forcing Rigo to weave around in his own end. He'll sauce it to the left wing for Saint, and he'll climb through the neutral zone and go right down the middle. Feeding right for a shot that's blocked. Rebound chucked out to the blue line, and Francis will carry it in. On the left wing, between the legs pass, picked off by the Swamp Rabbits. They'll shuttle it to the neutral zone as Les finds Francis back up ice. And here is Young waiting at the blue line on the laid off side. Conroy will just slam it around the boards, bangs it to the far wing. Francis back to work, leaves it for Nolan. Pass from low to high. Carabia takes a shot, blocked away by Charleston, and sent out of play. There's a good shift for your guys, and a good shot by Dylan Carabia. I really like what the Gladiators have done with Carabia so far here today, letting him take some shots from the blue line. In a game like this, Vinny, it seems like any shot is a good shot. And the Gladiators right now have 12 of them.
Right. I mean, obviously we still don't have a score right here, so you're right. As Wayne Gretzky and Michael Scott would say, you're going to miss 100% of the shots that you don't take right.
Gladiators have been taking them, and they've done a nice job of holding Greenville off the shot count as well. Just 4 shots on goal for the Swamp Rabbits. As at the red line, Jarvis whirls it around to the near corner. There is Modry scooting it back to the trapezoid. Greenville just trying to find some way to get it out, and they do, but it's back in the hands of Peter Morgan. They'll turn it over to Brackett, gets slammed into the boards by Appelt. Appelt can bulldoze players at will. Have to run that 4th line with Morgan and Scardina. Gladiators with the puck back, chip it to the line, held in by Peterson from glove to stick, right to Appelt. And he will pelt it out to the neutral zone and bully his way over the attacking line. Scardina able to chip it to the near corner. Greenville's got it back. Lovell pushing right. Waits behind the trapezoid. With 16-12 left in the second period. And fans not too happy about the pace of play here from Greenville.
Seems like they've been doing that a bit today, huh?
They have, and of course you were down there in the crowd earlier. You got to participate in the Boo Birds there. Cipolone tries to knife his way to the slot. Greenville able to make the defensive stand, move up by themselves. As from the right wing, Lovell sauces it to the trapezoid for O'Hara. Leaves it for a trailer. Polino from low to high has Atkinson at the left point. Fires a shot wide. Rebound gathered by Mickey Burns. The Mercyhurst product connects with Jack Mateer. They'll reverse it back the other way to Nychuk. And he will get it up to Burns at the line. Poked off his stick, and a big check by Cipolone. Thrown on Polino at the blue line. And the Swamp Rabbits not too happy about that. They start to mob him. As Murray tries to get a piece of Cipolone. No penalty here. Good hit. Shandor, cross ice. Atkinson on the move. Goes backdoor. And oh, what a stop by Septenfelter.
Huge save right there. That puck was practically past him.
What a stop for TJ Septenfelter. Sprawls out like a starfish to keep that one out. We got a lot to talk about here. So first, let's start with the hit from Cipolone at the blue line right in front of the Greenville bench. That really sets the tone for what happens next. Tell me what you saw there.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're skating across the ice in the middle of the zone there, got to keep your head up. And it looks like it caught him there with his head down. Big hit. Looked clean, looked legal, didn't have a penalty there. But yeah, I think it looked like the Swamp Rabbits did respond a little bit. And honestly, kind of surprised we didn't see anybody drop right there.
That's kind of what we saw last night in Greenville. Carson Denemy threw a big hit, and Greenville didn't like that. Got into a scuffle with Cam Hausinger. Cipolone throws the hit on Polino, and then Murray just tries to stand up for his teammate. But what a statement of a hit. That was right in front of the Greenville bench. They just to get to see it right in center. And then you get the save from Septenfelter. Remains a scoreless game. 15-11 left in the second.
I wonder, what do you think? Do you think we're talking about the hit here with the officials right here? I'm not sure what we got for a stoppage.
And we do have a lengthy delay as the referee Tyler Haskell talking to Chad Costello, the head coach for Greenville. And I have to imagine that you're right. Costello probably not too happy about that hit, trying to argue his case and maybe get a call here, but
also, yeah, it looks like we talked to both coaches there, so looks like we're finally ready to drop the puck and get back to some hockey.
Haskell doing his due diligence, checks in on Matt Ginn, and pretty quick conversation. Just, nah, I'm good. Clean hit. Face off to the left of Septenfelter. We'll see Louis Boudon in that top line take it for the Gladiators. Defensive zone face-off, goes Greenville's way. Right point shot by Murray, snapped up by Septenfelter. Clock stops with 15:05 left in the second period.
And I guess here we go. Let's line up and let's do it again.
First line will stay out there, and that line has been amazing for the Gladiators this season, Vinny. And Boudon, Walter, both goals in back-to-back games for Atlanta. Cody Sylvester, now 5th place in the Gladiators' all-time games played list. As another shot goes Septenfelter's way, he's able to shut that down. Puck over in the far corner. Conroy shrugged off of it strongly by Shandor. Make that Savoy as a shot is steered away by Septenfelter. Now a Gladiator gets tripped on the near side. That was Walter. He draws a penalty. So Atlanta with the puck. Septenfelter to the bench. And now Greenville able to touch up. 14:37 left in the second period, and the Gladiators are headed to the Eco-Electric power play for the second time today. Vinny, we've seen it so many times this season. Isaac Walter so strong with the puck, just rumbles down the right wing, draws that penalty, and now the Gladiators get their second chance on the power play here today.
And yeah, in a tie game like this, that special teams can be so important for you. So obviously for the Gladiators, man up. Let's see if we can get one. And obviously for the Swamp Rabbits, really big kill. This would be huge if they're able to kill this off and keep this one even.
Gladiators 0 for 1 on the power play so far here today, and 0 for 1 last night. This is their second chance. Houdon off the faceoff has it at the right point, goes across to Nychuk, takes the shot into traffic, blocked and sent back to Nychuk, who's able to keep it in. Greenville with an extra bit of effort, gets it back to the line. Young hustling, tries to keep it there, but Swamp Rabbits will pelt it down to Septemfelter for a clear. This Greenville penalty kill is a top 6 unit in the league. Already stopped the Gladiators once today. Atlanta trying to change the narrative. Young from the left circle, sauces it to the line. Nychuk to the right wing has Sylvester. The captain will survey from the right circle, back up top to Nychuk, return feed back to Sylvester, and they will trade places. Nychuk on the left wing this time, sauces it to the goal line, has a return feed. Atlanta continues to work the perimeter. Now Young from the high slot fires, rebound goes to Sylvester, and he will score! Cody Sylvester in the right place at the right time. Atlanta has a 1-0 lead, 6:20 into the second. Power play goal for Cody Sylvester. And hey, Vinny, sometimes you just got to go to the right areas of the ice. Cody Sylvester playing in game 257 with the Gladiators. He knows exactly where to be, and he puts it in the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even it's starting with collecting the puck down in the D zone there. The Gladiators did a great job coming up through the neutral zone. Some great passing right there, able to keep it away from the Swamp Rabbits there. And you're 100% right. You throw the puck at the net, go to the net, clean up a rebound, and here we go. Glad's up 1. And I think, are we talking about a potential kick right here? Are we talking about
I think
a
that's
kick
exactly what they're talking about. Good eye. Tyler Haskell taking a look at the scorer's table. Hasn't pulled out the iPad yet, but I believe there is a conversation of that nature going on, and now it looks like they will step inside and take a look at the video replay. So I'm sure Chad Costello, the head coach for the Swamp Rabbits, who was a great player in this league, spent many years in this league, has seen a thing or two and said, hey, not so fast. Maybe take a look at that. And so the referee, Haskell, and the linesman, Kyle Gaspari, are going to take a look at this on the iPad and see what we get. And they actually show the replay in-house, which they're actually not supposed to do that, so get away with them there, but it looked like it kind of just bounced off the leg of Sylvester. He was trying to head towards the net back door, Vinny, and I think it kind of just hit him in the leg and just ended up dribbling over the goal line. It didn't look like a kicking motion to me. What do you think?
Right, especially those bouncing pucks are tricky, right? You can't always settle it with your stick. You're skating hard, you're going to the net there, and you're right. I definitely saw it hit something, but from all the way up here, it didn't look like he really, kicked at it to me.
The initial shot was taken, the rebound to the area where Sylvester was, and looks like it kind of just pinballed off his leg into the back of the net. But we're not going to get a replay from up here. We're likely not going to get another one on the video board, and so
I think also an interesting one is, at least to me, is I think I saw a kicking, at least motion or call from the referee. So I'm not even 100% sure is the call on the ice right now a good goal? Or are they calling it a kick right now? Because I'm sure, as we know here, I know the call on the ice means so much, right?
Yeah, the call on the ice is a big determining factor. They'd have to find something from video replay to overturn the call on the ice. I believe it was a good goal, but we'll have to see. It's really are taking a long look at this. Tyler Haskell refereeing his 3rd straight Gladiators game. We saw him on Friday here when Jacksonville was in town. Saw him last night in Greenville, and he's here for the final game of the 3-3 himself. So for the Gladiators, final game of 3-3. Every single one has featured referee Tyler Haskell. It looks like he's made his decision.
Here we go.
No goal. Ooh, and so Matt Ginn, Gladiators head coach, will now get a chance to talk to Tyler Haskell.
But hey, really, right there as the Gladiators, you're doing everything right. You know, you had a great break-in, great setup, great passing, got yourself a good shot. You know, even if this one doesn't stand here, you know, just keep at it, keep doing the right things, keep going to work, and I'm sure it won't be long until they get one back here.
It would have been a power play goal for the Gladiators and Cody Sylvester, but instead, it ends up going down as a no goal, so must have determined that it was a kicking motion from the captain. It remains a scoreless game with 13:40 left in the second period, but the good news for the Gladiators there is that because of the stoppage to look at the video review, that first power play unit gets some chance to rest up, so they're going to stay out there for this next sequence, and now they're going to have to adjust the time on the clock on the penalty. And I'm not sure if anybody's caught wind of that yet.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that there's a 59-minute penalty up there.
No. And they might drop it. They do drop it. Okay, so who really knows how much time is left on the power plays? Boudon tries to stuff it in from the goal line. Puck jammed up back to the line. O'Hara through the neutral zone. Short-handed, cuts in tight. Backhand chance, stopped by Sentenfelter. Now Boudon enters on the left wing. Sylvester takes it in stride. Looks to center. Boudon can't take a shot. Murray gets in front of it. He will clear. Sentenfelter out to play it. Finds Nychuk in the far corner. If you're Josh Atkinson, you're sitting in the penalty box. You have no clue when you're coming out. 59-17 reads on the clock. And maybe it is the 14 seconds left in the 59 is there for some reason. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I sure hope someone in that penalty box has their own watch.
Nychuk left circle, shoots, save made by Charlson. And looks like that theory was correct. Atkinson out of the box, and he's had an odd moment with the clock, but they're back to even strength. So Gladiators 0 for 2 on the Ecoelectric power play. No goal on the chance from Sylvester. 12:41 left in the second period. We are back after this. So, a bit of controversy here in the second period from Gas South Arena. Gladiators think they score a power play goal off the leg of Cody Sylvester. Ends up going down as the call is on the ice is overturned. No goal is the call after video review. Ruled that it was a distinct kicking motion from the captain. They scrubbed the goal off the board, and we remain scoreless with 12:41 left in the second period. So we'll see a face-off in front of the Gladiators bench. Atlanta leading the shot count 15-6 to this point. Have done a nice job of making Charlson work for his money, but nothing snuck behind him yet. Puck will dribble out to the neutral zone. Cipollone knifes it back to Conroy. Now less on the near side has Conroy behind the cage, and those two will combine to start the next Gladiator breakout. Puck sent to no man's land between the benches. Level will collect it for Greenville. Has Josh Atkinson from the red line. He'll bombard it from corner to corner onto the stick of Sheriff. Les able to divorce him from the puck. Stepping in to help out was Savoy. Sets up a long chance for a somersault save by Sentenfelter.
And yeah, definitely all the Gladiators are going to come say hello after that one. Looks like a little bit of contact with the goalie there. And obviously, the Gladiators aren't going to love that. So I'm sure they're just exchanging some holiday pleasantries, you know.
Season's greetings, as yeah, they might have a case for a penalty there. Dante Sheriff right in front of Semptenfelter. Maybe a little bit of contact there, but looks like no penalty there. It almost, initially to me, it looked like Sheriff was just being a net front presence, and then Semptenfelter kind of just rolled into it. I mean, we've seen him do it that from time to time where momentum kind of just carries him one way or the other, but maybe a little bit of contact from Sheriff, but not enough to draw a penalty. Now on the right wing, Rigo goes around the net, tries to stuff it in. Semptenfelter has it covered, kicking out the right pad. Now a shot from the right wing, blocked in front. Saint from low to high has Peterson, and he's going to be forced out the center by big Riley Appelt. Berg on the left side, centers for Saint. Drifting left from the circle, moves to the backhand, shouldered off the puck by Carabia. It'll be snatched up in the far corner. Greenville rotates now to the near side as O'Reilly turns and fires. Gobbled up by Semptenfelter. 11:06 left in the second, and now here's your chaos. A couple of gloves are dropped. Riley Appelt grabbing a dance partner. Even Semptenfelter barking a few words into the pile-up.
Yeah, you know, especially giving after the last shot there, a little bit of contact with the goalie. This shot, yeah, obviously the Gladiators taking no chances, making sure they get right in front of the goalie there. And I'm not sure who that was, but it looked like he took a heck of a shot there from the Swamp Rabbits.
I believe that was Dylan Carabia right in the thick of it for the Gladiators. Conroy in there as well, and I'll make that Jarvis in there as well. But some of the usual suspects.
It looks like we have the Glads back on the power play, though.
Good eye, John Parker Jones in the box for interference. It's going to be their third chance on the power play here tonight. So I want to go back to that play, Vinny. You actually mentioned to me off the air that you were once a goalie yourself. So from your perspective, and I guess kind of putting yourself in the skates of TJ Semptenfelter, in an instance like that, you kind of get bumped up a little bit. You kind of mentioned it was only a matter of time before you see the floodgates open in terms of physicality and stuff like that. What do you see on that play? What do you expect to happen now after it's all kind of over and done with here?
Right, you know, I think that this is something, I'm sure it'll be a common theme here for the rest of our game, you know, just net front presence, get in front of the goalie, you know, a little bit of extracurriculars. Ooh.
Oh, they score! Boudon off a stick and in! Atlanta gets that power play goal, and this one should count.
And you throw pucks at the net and good things are going to happen.
They score 4 seconds into the power play. Nychuk finds Boudon below the right circle and just tries to throw it to the slot, hits a stick, and goes into the back of the net.
You know, sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. You know, throw it in front of the net, good things are going to happen.
And we talked about it earlier in the period that, hey, it never hurts to get a shot towards the net, and Boudon puts it that way, ends up ping-ponging around and going back in, and I think kind of the irony in it is the last goal was taken off because of a kicking motion from Sylvester. Doesn't go off a stick and in, and now it definitely goes off a stick and into the back of the net. Gladiators do have that 1-0 lead. Puck loose at center circle. Murray reels it in. John Parker Jones spent 4 seconds in the penalty box before the Gladiators scored.
And that Atlanta goal is your Hancock Whitney's first goal of the game, coming from number 29, Louis Boudon.
Louis Boudon now credited with the goal, now has goals in 3 straight games. Had a goal on Friday against Jacksonville, had the overtime winner last night, and now he's got the first goal of this game. Assists belong to Chad Nychuk and Alex Young on the power play goal, coming 9:25 into the second period. So Atlanta now 1 for 3 on the Eco Electric power play. Sometimes you do just need a little bit of luck. Gladiators get it, the weird bounce off the stick. They're looking for a little bit more. Les to Matier on the far wall. Cipollone takes it in on the right wing. Climbing down the boards, takes the shot off the stick of Lovell and out of play. Timeout on the ice will take one as well. Atlanta leads it 1-0, and that we can say for certain. We're back after this.
Desserts are popping up on Crumbles menu.
More than just cookies.
The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
So the Gladiators finally get that first goal of the day. Comes on the power play about 9.5 minutes in. Louis Boudon gets some puck luck off a stick and in. Chiarenza joined by Vinny. Vinny, tell me what you saw on that goal from Boudon.
Yeah, really, right off the drop. Right off the drop. Honestly, didn't as you pointed out, didn't even really look like a shot. Really looking like trying to center it there. Hit his stick, pucks in the back of the net.
Boudon has been a good passer so far this season. Time for the team lead in assists with 18 alongside Chad Nychuk. Boudon with that goal now has his 10th of the year. As Greenville pressuring to try and tie it up. Polino on the right wing. Gains possession at the half wall. From low to high. Modry across. Lovell from the high slot. Angles it off the far wall and into the open arms of Savoy. Right circle shot blocked by Cipollone. Puck will trickle over into the far corner. Modry is there, trying to keep things going for Greenville. They'll let jam it to the line for a one-timer that screeches wide. Might have hit a body in front, and then blockered away by Septenfelter. Now on the far corner, Les will chase after it. Puck caroms oddly off the end wall, goes to the blue paint. Septenfelter on red alert, able to mop it up with 8:45 left in the second. But something that's been interesting, Vinny, is the shot count here in the second period. Gladiators had a wide margin at one point. Now it's just 16-11. Greenville, after surrendering that goal, just kind of trying to climb back into this game. And you think at this point, Greenville, through about a game and a half and a little bit of change added to that, have only had one goal on the board. It has to start getting frustrating for the Swamp Raps to be stymied by the Gladiators defense.
Sure, big D-zone face-off here. Let's see if the Gladiators can kind of change that.
And they do. They lift it out to center. Morgan tries to skate into it. Berg pins it up against the wall. Appelt working with Morgan, able to steer it over to the right wing where Scardina will drive it down deeper. Appelt in a scuffle at the end wall. Tries to escape Rigo. Loses his stick. And the Swamp Rabbits go up ice. 4-on-3. Savoy on the left wing. Plays it back. Rigo shoots. Saves. Septenfelter rebound available. And he makes a second save on the shot between the circles.
Great save.
He's done that a time or two. Sometimes even more, as from the right circle, Septenfelter fights off another shot. Appelt whacks it to the line, and momentum will carry it out to center. So Greenville forced to regroup and reload. 7:50 left in the second period. Centering feed, flagged down by Sheriff, and now the puck sent out of play, and that should be a delay of game penalty on the Gladiators. And so we'll head to the Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda penalty kill for the first time today.
Yeah, Guy, definitely right. Definitely starting to sense a little bit of urgency from the Swamp Rabbits here. They've been pinned down. They've been working hard. A good 2 shifts for them right there. And looks like, might have just caught a tired Gladiator there. Made a little bit of a mistake up over the glass. And here we go. Let's see what the penalty kill looks like.
So Peter Morgan gets called for delay of game. This is Greenville's first chance on the power play today. Swamp Rapids power play, woeful this season, 10.2%, second worst in the league. Gladiators penalty kill, top 10 unit, 84.6%, 10th in the ECHL entering the day. And the Gladiators PK did go 2 for 2 last night in Greenville. And Vinny, as you said, we're going to get to find out what this Gladiators PK is made of here, especially in a moment in a 1-0 game where they're really going to get put to the test. Face off to the left of Semptenfelter. Denemy will take this for Atlanta. Up against Polino, and the puck will be sent to the half wall. Mateer tries to pin it up there, ends up drifting free. Denemy gets a stick on it, puck behind the cage. Nychuk just sends it barreling to the line, but not out. Good keep by Rigo. On the right wing, Savoy finds Rigo at the point. Pushes it left, Sheriff is there, slides it down to the goal line. Active stick by Nychuk, gets in front of Polino. Swamp Rapids continue to stay forced to the perimeter as Polino from the far corner looks to center, hits a skate, jumbles to the line. Now Savoy tries to go across the Sheriff, and he fumbles it at the line. Free clear for Atlanta. That is huge for the Gladiators as Sheriff comes right back in, the former Cincinnati Cyclone. Pumps it over to the right wing. Savoy finds a man at the line. It is Rigo. Passing left for Shandor. Walking down the wall. Return to Rigo. Cross-ice feed for a one-timer. Shanked and sent out the glove of Semptenfelter. Now Sheriff at the line. Has Rigo back to Sheriff. Left circle. Drops it down below the goal line in the corner for Polino. Gladiators keeping things to the outside. Something they've done very well this season. As Sheriff, top to left circle, holds, feeds down low for a chance for Polino. Semptenfelter hugs the post, makes the save, and Atlanta will clear. 37 seconds left on the penalty to Morgan, and Vinny, that's a great job by the Gladiators. Keep things to the outside, and a couple of good saves from Semptenfelter, keeps it a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes, you need your goalie to be your best penalty killer, and Semptenfelter with a couple of great saves right there.
Lovell drifting right, able to tap it ahead. Shot goes out of play with 6 minutes left in the second period. 16 seconds left on the penalty to Morgan. And for Peter Morgan, in 16 seconds, he'll get to breathe a sigh of relief. It's a tough penalty to take, a delay of game penalty, because not trying to do it, just something that accidentally happens, much like a too many men on the ice penalty.
Yeah, even looked like that. Looked like that was a bouncing puck there. Just trying to chip it off the glass, and the next thing you know, it's somewhere in the stands.
Gladiators just moments away from killing off this penalty. Greenville at the right point, trades it off. Berg moving towards his left from the circle, shoots wide of the goal mouth. Momentum carries the puck out to center. And that'll just about do it for the penalty to Morgan. He is out, and we are back to even strength. Gladiators 1 for 1 on the Beaver Toyota and Mazda penalty kill. As Conroy swipes it to his left, looking for Morgan, fresh out of the box. Puck ends up going back to Semptenfelter as we got more collisions in the neutral zone. Conroy and O'Hara this time. Ryan Conroy, no stranger to physical play. As Les goes cross-ice off the stick of Morgan. SUNY Geneseo product can't quite gain possession. Greenville comes up ice, and they do have numbers. 4-on-2, whacked away by Carabia. And it doesn't matter, the Swamp Rapids are offside anyway. 5:08 left in the second period. Atlanta with a 1-0 lead. We'll look to add to it when we come back to Gas South Arena. believe I misspoke before we went to break. Back at Gas South Arena, guy along Vinny. And Vinny, you actually caught this one, so you one-up me there. Gladiators headed to the power play. Too many men on Greenville. So first it's Atlanta taking an ill-advised penalty on the delay of game. They get the kill. Now it's Greenville taking a penalty that is going to drive Chad Costello nuts. Atlanta back to the power play.
Yeah, we've had a really even game here, 5-on-5. The only difference in the game being a power play goal. So yeah, let's see if the Glads can make it 2-0.
Young in that first unit. Take this face off. Try and get puck possession, but Shandor able to escape, squirming towards his left. Pumps it to his right. Short-handed. Savoy goes crashing into the far corner, and he'll just try and pin it up there and shave off some time, but only about a second or two. Atlanta out of the fray. Finds Walter on the right wing. Circling the red line. Tries to brush it in. Gladiators able to just poke it to the near corner. Boudon wrapped up with Murray. Puck goes to Atkinson, and he will clear. And so for Greenville, while they're not the best scoring team in the league, they're not great on the power play. They are a good defensive team, and their penalty kill, as we mentioned before, is one of the best units in the ECHL. Will take a hit thanks to that power play goal from the Gladiators earlier today, but the fundamentals remain the same for Greenville. A couple of good clears to start. Gladiators right back in, and it's another clear for Berg. Off the pile-up on the wall, slaps it down the length of the ice to Sentenfelter. And already a minute gone by on this penalty to Dante Sheriff, as he is serving it. So it's a too many men penalty as Burns tries to cut towards the net, ends up dribbling in on Charleston. He'll cover up with 3:59 left in the second period and 52 seconds left on the power play.
Yeah, Glads definitely look like they're having a bit of a tougher time on this power play, just getting set up in the offensive zone here. So we're now with an offensive zone face-off. You know, you win this face-off, and that's half the battle right there. You're already set up.
You're exactly right. I think the thing that was killing the Gladiators the first minute of the power play was the zone entries. Greenville wins the D-zone face-off. They'll jam it to the line, and Cipollone keeps it in. He'll ladle it into the corner. Up top, Mateer holds and shoots. Just fires wide, and Greenville will clear on the rebound. He'll jolt it down to Sentenfelter. He'll leave it for Mateer. Second power play unit on for the Gladiators. 30 seconds left on the man advantage. Mateer will lead the charge. Slingshots Francis into action. Francis nifty move, but couldn't quite control it. At the top of the right circle, Greenville mails it down to Sentenfelter again, and it's looking like maybe one last chance for Atlanta here on the power play. 10 seconds left. Francis over the red line. Just to pass it to his left, hits a skate. Cipollone stands up a man at the line. That's Shandor. A couple of big hits from Cipollone today, but penalty will expire. Greenville back to even strength. Gladiators lead 1-0. Shot count in Atlanta's favor as well, 17-14. Puck goes out of play into the Gladiators bench. So the clock will stop with 2:56 left in the second period.
Yeah, Guy, you weren't joking there. Those Swamp Rabbits, they've got a great unit right there. I swear it was almost like they had like a force field set up, you know, like right at their blue line there, and just not letting the Glads, you know, get into the zone and get set up.
And you have to tip your cap when it's due. Swamp Rabbits are one of the league's best on the PK, despite surrendering the power play goal to Louis Boudon. And honestly, you can't really fault them for that one either. I mean, really the fundamentals were there for Greenville, just the odd bounce off the stick, and it goes into the back of the net. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened. Greenville drives it into Atlanta territory. Conroy from behind the net.
Looks like they're still offsides.
It looks like the late offside on Greenville. Puck comes out, so no need to worry for the Swamp Rabbits. Conroy sends it entering in on the right side. Greenville tries to exit as John Parker Jones checks Carson Denemy right in no man's land below the blue line. And here is Parker Jones on the right wing, getting a touch on it, looking for Saint. Gladiators will pump it out to center ice. 2:14 left in the second period. Greenville passes to the neutral zone. Saint moving left. Tries to cut to the inside. Saint and a mob of Gladiators loses the puck, and moving up ice is Boudon. Louis Boudon with a goal today, looking for some more on his forehead. Plays it to the corner for Sylvester. Sylvester climbing up the zone, leaves it for Jarvis. The defenseman puts it down low. Walter centers for a chance by Boudon, turned away by Charleston. Now at the left point, Jarvis across. Carabia shoots, blocked in between the circles. And Polino will clear it out to the neutral zone. Parker Jones wires it into Gladiator territory, and that goes down as an icing with 1:24 left in the second. And the referee, Tyler Haskell, pointing towards the Greenville bench. Everybody back. Everybody back on. Greenville trying to make a line change. Tired bodies have to stay out.
Which huge advantage for the Gladiators here. You know, looks like you got some tired Swamp Rabbits here. Offensive zone face-off.
Especially towards the end of the period, too. 1:24 left on the clock. I mean, you know guys are gassed. Especially this being the second of a home and home. As a shot by Francis off the face-off win. It's blockered away by Charleston. Another chance by Francis, blocked by his own man and Young between the circles. Greenville able to chip it out to the neutral zone. Puck possession goes to Nychuk. And again, we'll keep in mind that this is the second game of a home and home for Greenville, but they were off on Friday. They did not play. Gladiators did, and so this is a 3-3 for the Gladiators. Final minute of the second period, 50 seconds left. Francis with the steal in the neutral zone, motors down the right wing and has it swiped away by O'Hara. Young in front of the Greenville bench, pushes with authority. Delayed penalty here. It's going against Greenville. Septemfelter
Yeah, it looks like he took
looking
a high
towards the
stick there.
bench. Yeah, good eye. Alex Young digging deep into the play, drew the penalty. And now Greenville touches up. And so 22.3 left in the second period. We are going back again to the Eco Electric power play.
You know, 22 seconds here, you know, probably enough time to win the face-off. You know, maybe get a couple passes, get a good look at the net here before we go.
Oh, it's more than enough time. Anybody that has been watching our broadcast know about the Reed Lebster incident that happened in Utah a couple weeks ago. I'll tell you about it, Vinny. Face-off, 1.1 seconds left in the period. Grizzlies win it. They score. 0.3 of a second to spare. So there is enough time.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like there's always enough time.
Right. 22 seconds. Plenty of time.
Gladiators have a little bit more time to work with than the Grizzlies did. Boudon wins the face-off. Brackett tries to power out the zone, but Young with a good keep drives it down into the far corner. Walter behind the cage, reels in the pass, 7 seconds left. Sylvester shoots, gets blocked by Brackett. Second chance by Walter, kept out by Charleston. 2 seconds left. Young will shoot at the buzzer, blocked by Murray. And that is how the end of the second period will go. So the Gladiators do get a goal here in the second period. First one is ruled a no goal off the kick-in from Sylvester. Second one counts. Louis Boudon gets his 10th goal of the year. Glads in the power play score. And they will have a power play to start the second period, or the third period, with 1:38 left on the penalty to Polino for high sticking at the end of the second. Coming up next here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network, we'll be rejoined by Andrew and Shelby to break the first two periods down, look ahead to period 3, and check in with our YouTube live chat as well. As for me and Vinny, we're going to head off. But Vinny, thank you so much for joining me here on the call here today. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, Guy, I had a great time. Thanks so much for having me. Definitely just want to say thank you to my girlfriend, Olivia, for getting this experience set up for me, and wanted to say, you know, thanks to all my friends and family at home that tuned in.
You did amazing, man. Awesome to have you up here. Looking forward to seeing you again. Gladiators 1, Swamp Rabbits nothing. We are back for the second intermission report after this.
Desserts are popping up on Crumbles menu.
More than just cookies.
The lineup changing weekly.
everyone. Welcome back to Gas South Arena. I'm here with Andrew. We're going to be breaking down that second period. First, let's check in with our scores. Atlanta Gladiators with 1 with 19 shots on goal, and the Greenville Swamp Rapids with 0, 14 shots on goal. Andrew, what were you seeing that period from both teams?
You know, I thought there was a lot of more back and forth action in that period. Obviously, after the first, Atlanta held the lead in shots on goal, 11-2. Now we're at 19-14. So, Greenville, 12 shots on goal that period. Obviously, Atlanta only with 8. A little quick math there. But it was a bit of a back and forth period, you know, a couple power play opportunities for each team. It was a lot more open than the first period.
It seemed like the Glads were on the power play quite a lot this period.
I thought so too, definitely.
Yeah, and honestly, let's talk about that first power play, which there was a goal, but then there wasn't a goal. You want to break down that for us?
Yeah, so the puck finds Alex Young up at the point. He walks it in, shoots it off the far pad. Looks like Cody Sylvester puts the, well, he did put the rebound in. I thought it went off his stick, but went off his skate. Referees deemed that to be a distinct kicking motion, which is an illegal way to score a goal, and deemed it, as I said, illegal, so we got no goal, and we stay tied at 0-0.
Now, you got to see the replay because I edit the highlight reel. What were your thoughts? To me, I mean, I'm not a professional, but it kind of looked like he lost his footing there for a second, and he just happened to hit that puck with his skate.
Yeah, I like the way you explain that there, because when they say distinct kicking motion, the key word in that is distinct, you know? So he's got to kick the puck into the net, and there I thought maybe it was more of a deflection. You can deflect it in off your skate if you don't kick it. So I thought maybe it was more of a deflection, like he was just turning his foot when he was shooting it. That's kind of what I saw, but obviously our referees here didn't agree. No goal. We stayed tied at 0-0 for that time.
But the Gladiators did get another chance, which they succeeded on, another power play goal, and it was 4 seconds into that power play. It was Louis Boudon, his 10th of the season, with a 10th of the season assist from Nychuk and Young. Can you break down that goal for us?
Yeah. I mean, you got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good on that one. Nychuk with the puck at the point slides it down to Boudon, who's standing on about the goal line. He tries to center it, and it goes off the skate of the Greenville defender and just goes right over the shoulder of Charleston. You know, I think it's kind of some, I'd say good karma for that goal that got taken away from Cody Sylvester.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, you know, it's just a good bounce for the Gladiators, you know, but I think they were due for a good bounce after that goal being called back. But, you know, not much going on that goal. It was just Louis Boudon trying to center a puck, went off a skate, went into the net. You know, I hate to say the word lucky, but it was just a good bounce for the Gladiators that ended up in the back of the Greenville net, give the Gladiators a 1-0 lead.
Now we have to talk about that other special team, the penalty kill. Guy has told us that the Gladiators are one of the best defensively this season. Why do you think that is? What do you think is working for the players when it comes to defense?
Yeah, I talk about this a lot with Guy. I think the Gladiators' penalty kill does a really good job of denying zone entries from opposing teams' power play. So obviously, if you're a power play, you want to get into the zone and establish your setup and attack from there. The Gladiators have done a really good job of just not even allowing teams to get into the zone, or they're forcing dump-ins where they can't enter with possession. If you're a power play, ideally you want to be able to enter the attacking zone with possession of the puck and set up from there. But if you have to dump it in, sometimes you're giving up possession to the other team and they're getting an easy clear. So the Gladiators do a really good job of either clogging up the neutral zone, forcing dump-ins so teams aren't allowed to enter the zone with possession and getting clears. And even when other teams are able to set up, the Gladiators do a really good job of keeping the puck to the outside. They're not allowing pucks inside to the front of the net or to the bumper or across to the other side of the ice. It's teams having to go from one wing up to their defenseman, down to the other wing. They're not allowing these cross-ice passes that would make saves for Septemfelter hard. They're making it easy for their goaltender, and just their goaltenders as well. You know, you say your best penalty killer has to be your goaltender, and Septemfelter and Hyder have been the Gladiators' best penalty killers this year. Obviously, the Gladiators have had a very good penalty kill so far this season, coming in at 84.6% for 10th in the league, which is very good. And it's in large part to their goaltenders as well. Hyder and Septemfelter making big saves on the penalty kill, but also the Gladiators penalty killers making it easier for their goalies.
It's been really good, fun watching them play both the power play and the penalty kill this season and seeing how much they've improved and how steady it's been for the penalty kill. It's been really fun to watch. Now, before we head to break, I have another question. I love coming up with these. So my question for the YouTube chat and for Andrew is, do we like Christmas or New Year's better? So let us know in the YouTube chat. When we come back, we're going to be talking about what we want to see in the third period and much more. So get those answers ready. I'll let you think about it, and we'll talk more when we come back. But again, Gladiators 1, Swamp Rabbits 0 here in Duluth. Welcome back to Gas South Arena. I'm here with Andrew. We're going to be talking about Isaac Walter here in a little bit. But my first question for everyone is, what is your favorite holiday? Christmas or New Year's? Which do you prefer? But first, right now, the Gladiators are at 1 with 19 shots on goal, and the Greenville Swamp Rabbits at 0 with 14 shots on goal. So please put your answers in the YouTube chat, New Year's or Christmas, and we'll answer that towards the end of intermission. But first, let's talk about Isaac Walter. I have written down here that he's on a game-scoring streak. He has scored in his last 5 games. He leads in goals for the Gladiators with 13. What are you seeing so far from him this season?
Yeah, you know, Isaac Walter, he's really come on as of late. I got down here, he's got 8 goals and 5 assists for 13 points in 8 games in the month of December before today. So he's really came on as of late in December, and I feel like it really started when he got put on that line with Louis Boudon and Cody Sylvester. That line got put together, and it feels like they just immediately clicked. We talked about in the first intermission about Louis Boudon and Walter. I just love the way he plays the game. He's a big-bodied winger, and he uses that to his advantage. He uses his body to protect the puck. He's such a hard guy to knock the puck off of. He uses his body to protect the puck. He's got pretty good speed for a big winger, and he just knows where to be on the ice. Me and Guy talked about this a bit in the pregame. Last night, scores a goal just by going to the net and putting his stick on the ice. And I said, for any kids watching, if you don't know where to be in the offensive zone, go to the front of the net and put your stick on the ice. And Isaac Walter, he's just a smart hockey player. We saw it on the overtime goal that Louis Boudon scored last night. Walter's got the puck behind the net. He's got 2 guys on him, and he's got the puck pinned against the wall. He takes a quick look behind him, sees Louis Boudon wide open in the slot, and just slides it right to him, wide open. And the Gladiators get the win in overtime last night. So it's just these little plays that he's making. It's just smart hockey plays that he's making. That's been huge for him, and it's allowed him to be moved up in the lineup, now playing on that top line with Cody Sylvester and Louis Boudon.
And like you said in the first intermission report, when we were talking about Louis Boudon and how he's been playing with the same players throughout this season, and you mentioned Isaac's little turn to look and see where everyone's at, and it's knowing your players and knowing where they're at and just playing with them for so long, you know they're going to be where they need to be, and you said that in that first intermission, and that just proves your point right there.
Yeah. I try my best, yeah.
So let's talk about what you want to see in that third period.
Well, so the Gladiators start this third period with 1:38 of power play time. I'd love to see them come out here, strike on this power play early, and put this game away. You know, that would be a huge momentum shift for the Gladiators to just kind of kill any momentum that Greenville has coming out of this period. Because, if you're Greenville, you're in the room saying right now, all right, guys, let's go out there, kill this penalty, 1-goal game, let's go tie it up. If you're the Gladiators, if you can strike on this power play, it kills anything that Greenville's trying to do. You take a 2-goal lead into the rest of this third period, that would be huge. But I just love to see the Gladiators, and I talked about this in the first intermission as well, continue their forecheck. I thought they were doing a really good job forechecking, continuing into the second period. I'd love to see that continue for the Gladiators, forcing turnovers in the attacking zone with their forecheck.
Now, how important is momentum when it comes to this game and winning?
I think momentum is probably the most important thing in the sport.
Yes.
You just, and it doesn't take a big thing to change momentum. Maybe it's a block shot, maybe it's a big hit. It doesn't have to be a goal.
We saw that a little
momentum.
bit in the second period too. After some big hits, it's definitely a shift in energies, a shift in the momentum for both teams after that.
Yeah. It's just someone throws a big hit and that changes momentum. Someone makes a big block shot, you're going the other way. That can change momentum. So it's just little things about playing the right way that can change momentum in your favor.
Yeah, I'm excited for this third period. And I'm also excited to know if people prefer Christmas over New Year's. Andrew, you want to give me your answer first?
I gotta go Christmas.
You gotta go Christmas?
I'm just a big Christmas person, It's just such a good day, you get to spend time with your whole family. And though New Year's is a very good, give New Year's its props. New Year's is a really good celebration, but I just like Christmas just because it's all about family. It's just all about being together, and it's honestly probably my favorite holiday out of all of them.
You don't reinvent yourself for New Year's?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I don't know. I'm not really a big proponent of that.
Yeah.
I just, if I wanted to reinvent myself, why couldn't I do it today? You know?
And that's facts. For me, I have to say Christmas as well. I think I just love getting together with my family because I don't see them as often living here in Georgia. So it's just always a full experience when you have a big family and a family that's full of, big personalities. So I love that. New Year's, I do have to say, is my mom's birthday, so it's a double holiday for her.
Okay.
So there's always a party going on, but it is fun. It's more fun when you turn a certain age, though, I think.
Oh, yeah, certainly. I think it's just, and it's kind of, it's a tough comparison because they're just like
they're two
completely
very
different holidays. Christmas, obviously, like, when you're a kid, like, Christmas is like this huge thing that you're looking forward to all year. And it's like, all right, New Year's is just kind of like another day. But as you get older, it's like, all right, Christmas, it's like, all right, I gotta get presents for this person. I don't know what to get them.
My love language is gift giving, so I also love that part about Christmas.
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat is saying. We have Camping Chick 27 Christmas, good choice, and then Stadium Arena 1992 New Year's. So we have a little back and forth there in the chat.
Back and forth there, yeah. But I mean, I'll say, as I was saying, as you get older, Christmas gets expensive.
That's true. Unfortunately, last game I could not buy the book club girlies jersey because I spent all my money on Christmas presents.
But like even New Year's, that's more of a time where you get together with friends and you maybe go out to a party or something for New Year's. So it's just kind of they're different holidays, but Christmas being more family oriented.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very different sides of the podium, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Both good, but well, we'll be back here. Guy's going to take over, do a play-by-play with Andrew when we come back of the break. Again, we are starting off the Gladiators with a power play, so hopefully they can get some momentum from that. But we will see you on the other side of the break.
Desserts are popping up on Purple's menu. All types of dessert.
More than just cookies.
The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
are set for the third period here at Gas South Arena. Gladiators with a 1-0 lead, trying to gut out another win and take all 3 games to the 3-3. The back-to-back wins here this weekend over Greenville, trying to make it 5 wins in a row against the Swamp Rabbits, this being the 6th meeting of the season. We still got 8 more to go after this one, so this rivalry ain't going anywhere. And the Gladiators aren't going anywhere either. They start the third period with a 1 minute and 38 seconds of power play time here in the Eco Electric power play. So Andrew, bring you back in here. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what the Gladiators can do with this almost a full 2 minutes of a power play here. They can double their lead. I think to be in the driver's seat to take this game.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was talking about with Shelby on the intermission report. If the Gladiators can strike early in this first couple of minutes on this power play, I think it'll be huge for momentum for the rest of this game. You get that 2-goal lead, and you just kind of shut down anything that Greenville's trying to do at the start of this third period.
You know Greenville's not going to make it easy for them. Swamp Rabbits have been very stingy on the penalty kill this season. One of the league's best, although the Gladiators have snuck one by them here today. That is the difference. Louis Boudon's goal has given Atlanta this 1-0 lead. Gladiators, when leading after 2 periods of play, are 12-0. Swamp Rabbits, when trailing after 2, are 0-5-2. So twice, Greenville has bitten back and at least stolen a point. We'll see if today is one of those days, or if the Gladiators are able to extend their home winning streak to 6 straight games. Atlanta 5-0 in their last 5 home games. First power play unit will start the third period for the Gladiators. Young will take the face-off against O'Reilly at center circle. And O'Reilly's one at Greenville will possess. And Murray delays for a moment and then blasts it down to Semptenfelter for a clear. Boudon flings it to the right wing. Sylvester over the attacking line. Scrubs it to the corner. Walter keeps it moving. Getting in front as O'Hara whips it around the boards. Out to center. Chance 1-on-2. Shorthanded for Greenville. O'Reilly cutting behind the net. Shifts towards his forehand. Has the puck knocked away by Boudon. And Atlanta will start its next breakout. A little over a minute left on the power play. Sylvester tripped on the zone entry. Boudon keeps a hang on the puck. Centers for Walter. Behind the net, Walter finds Young on the wing. On the left side, softly taps it to the line. Nychuk back to Young. Left circle, sets up Nychuk. Save made by Charleston. The rebound to Young. He shoots. Another stop by Charleston. Keeps it a 1-goal game.
What a save by Charleston. Makes a great first save on Nychuk on the one-timer. Then the puck comes right to Alex Young, wide open in the high slot with a great look on net. And Charleston stands tall again. He's really kept Greenville in this game today.
There's a couple of really good chances for the Gladiators there. And Pierce Charleston making some of the best saves of the day. No disrespect to TJ Semptenfelter, but he really hasn't had a lot come his way tonight. 14 shots on goal for Greenville, now 22 for Atlanta. Face off on the near circle. Boudon will take this face off. First unit remains out as Nychuk takes off the face-off, feeds it to Young on the left edge of the circle, plays it to the goal line. Walter tries to stuff it, hits the pad of Charleston and stays out. Now Nychuk at the line, turns towards the net, deals it to his right, takes in the return feed at the left point, surveys and fires. Save made Charleston. The rebound ping-pongs to the right wing. Sylvester tried to drop it down deeper, but Greenville sniffs it out. They clear with 10 seconds left on the penalty, and that'll just about do it. Polino standing up in the box, and he is out. Back to even strength. Nolan weaving down the right wing, angles it off the wall to Scardina. From the corner, climbs up the wall, deals it back off it to Nolan. Shot kicked away by Charleston. Rebound to the far corner. Greenville tries to punch it out. Second effort sends it to center circle. Conroy spatters it from corner to corner. Greenville reverses back to the near side. Murray spins away from the forecheck of Francis, who has been a great forechecker for Atlanta this season. And really, 3 forwards out there right now for the Gladiators are the best forecheckers, arguably, that they have. Nolan takes a high stick. That draws a penalty. And we'll see how many minutes go on the Swamp Rabbits, but looks like, again, Atlanta headed back to the Eco Electric power play.
Yeah, that first power play they had at the start of the third period, I thought they did a really good job of generating opportunities, but Pierce Charleston has just been absolute money for Greenville today. Gladiators just got to keep peppering them. Going to come right back with this first unit. I love what this first unit was doing on that first power play. I think they're due for one at this point. Or another one, I should say, as Boudon had that one at the second.
Boudon, another great forechecker in his own right, will take this face-off and win it. Nychuk to Sylvester, has some space, feeds it inside for Boudon, and he scores! Louis Boudon double dips his second power play goal of the day. Makes it 2-0 Atlanta.
Great pass by Cody Sylvester on that right wing. Sliding across to Louis Boudon, wide open in the slot. And he goes glove side on Charleston to give the Gladiators a 2-0 lead.
And that is great vision and patience by Cody Sylvester. Had a chance to shoot it, delayed a little bit, had a lot of space, a lot of room, found Boudon, and he buries it into the far corner to make it a 2-0 game, with the goal coming 2:30 into the third.
And it's great play by Boudon, finding that quiet area of the ice where no one's on him, and just a great catch and release. Nice quick catch and release there.
Boudon, now 4 goals in his last 3 games. He has torched the Swamp Rabbits here today, had the overtime winner. Now has 5 goals and 5 assists in his last 7 games. Team leader in points, up to 29 on the campaign. 11 goals, 18 assists. In the far corner, Burns jockeying, tries to push it to Jarvis. Greenville trying to bite back. Rigo in the right wing, tries to put a shot on goal. Septenfelter hugs the post and keeps it out. Boudon's goals assisted by Cody Sylvester and Chad Nychuk. And for those of you keeping track at home, that is, once again, 2 assists for Chad Nychuk. That is 5 assists for Nychuk here in the 3-3, and his 8th multi-point game this season. That leads all Gladiator skaters. But it was Sylvester that really set that play up. Again, hanging in the high slot. Could have shot that, but found Boudon in a better spot, and what a release on that shot by Louis Boudon. I mean, arguably nobody does it better than he does.
Caught it, and it was off his stick as fast as you could even say. Shoot.
Blink and you miss it. Louis Boudon makes it 2-0, and Greenville trying to find their way back. Remember, 5 previous games in the season series, each one of those games have been decided by 2 goals or less, and the last 3 in overtime, in which the Gladiators had won all of them. Denemy sets up a chance for Cephalone. That gets blocked. Denemy fighting hard. Great forecheck from him. He gets to work in the far corner. Les pinching in, tries to keep the play alive. Cross-ice speed, almost picked up by Burns, but they do find Rigo. They go right down the middle. Puck caught in the air. Brackett able to locate it. Shuttles it around the boards to the near side, where O'Reilly tries to drive it deeper. Instead, Scardina cuts it off, blasts up the ice, gets squashed off of it by Big John Parker Jones, standing at 6'7", 230. Now they stretched up to Saint on the right wing, peels to the outside. Great play by Mateer. Centering pass goes off the skate of Nychuk. Morgan will turn up ice. And I really like that deep pairing, Andrew. Nychuk, Mateer. Seems like whenever Mateer is in Atlanta, Nychuk is his guy to be paired up with.
Yeah, you know, 2 big defenders. Mateer maybe a little more defensively minded, and Nychuk a little more offensively minded. They pair together very well. The way that Mateer plays, he's able to free Nychuk up to push a little bit of the offense.
Pelt takes a check on the far side boards as a shot is reeled in by the glove of Septenfelter. 4:42 gone by in the third period, and Pelt back up to his feet, goes off to the bench, and that's kind of how this game has been, Andrew. There's been moments in this game where There hasn't been really any bad blood, and then there's moments like that where you get a big hit, some real physical plays, and then he gets some after the whistle stuff, and then it kind of dies down, and then you go back up the roller coaster again, and these two teams really show that they hate each other.
Yeah, certainly. You know, you see a team as much as these two have, you're not going to like them.
Puck in the near corner, Greenville skates into it. Great play by Jarvis to rub Shandor off the puck. Shot from the line by Murray, goes wide of Septemfelter. Jarvis has it behind the cage. Gladiators throw it through the neutral zone. Nolan giving chase, cut off by Atkinson. Nolan on the forward check, trying to hem Greenville in. Atkinson angles it off the wall, able to spit it out to center. Savoy takes it on the run and glides it into the far corner. Meets it at the end wall, pressed off the puck, loose in the high slot. Greenville turns it over to Jarvis, and he will wire it to the neutral zone to Nolan, and he'll just backhand it in. Greenville dumps the puck, back behind Septemfelter. Alex Young. Heads off to the bench. Conroy tattoos the puck off the end wall. Available in the far corner. Walter gets to work. First line setting up shop as Boudon moves to his forehand. At the top of the right circle, Boudon has it wrestled away, and a chance for Greenville up ice. The power down the left wing, cut in tight. O'Hara knocked off the puck. Great defensive play. Boudon on the back check, able to help out. Sylvester plugs it to the line, and Boudon takes it on the run. The Frenchman on hat-trick watch, serves it to Walter. Cross-ice feed off the backside of the skate of Sylvester. Greenville will take it and just punch it to the neutral zone. And on the left side, O'Hara tries to juggle a bouncing puck. Mateer gets the better of him. Able to locate Walter, rumbling through the neutral zone. Makes his way to the red line, decides it's time for a change. 13:20 left in the third period. Chip and chase, Passan makes its way to the end wall. Peterson helps rotate it up top for a shot by Modry. That gets blocked by Burns. Board battle ensues on the near side half wall. Burns able to chuck it through the neutral zone and all the way down. Icing on the Gladiators. 7:04 gone by in the third. Can Andrew, go ahead.
Oh, good work by the Gladiators wingers there. Getting up on the defenseman. Just saw a nice block shot there by Mickey Burns, I believe. But Gladiators wingers doing a really good job of pushing this Greenville deep.
Great point. I just wanted to go back to what you said earlier. Didn't have enough time to finish my thought, but 6 of the next 11 games for the Gladiators are against the Swamp Rabbits. So we talk about this season series, now gritty and gutsy it can be. We're going to see a lot of this team here down the stretch. And you and I talked about it off the air before the game started, that you think about the pool of points available in a 14-game season series. That's 28 points available on the table. And in a season like this where Atlanta's towards the top and Greenville's towards the bottom, it feels like whoever wins that season series is going to be the playoff team out of the two.
Yeah, certainly. I believe it. I mean, if you can get a majority of the points against the other team, it's huge for you in the standings, and it's just an absolute killer. So say Atlanta grabs most of the points against Greenville, it kind of kills Greenville's season a little bit, you know?
Shot by Cipollone, reeled in by Charlson. 12:18 left in the third period. Atlanta by a deuce, 2-0 Gladiators when we come back.
This holiday season, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your holiday needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
by 2, 2-0 lead, 12-18 left in the third period. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. And despite the 2-0 lead for Atlanta, it feels like at some point this game is going to get very, very tight. And we're starting to see it tighten up here in the third as Greenville watching the clock drain down a little bit, trying to put a little bit more urgency into their game. And here's a hop in their step. O'Reilly grinding down the right wing, centers, and hits the crossbar on the centering feed. They try and jam it in. Austin Saint had a glance off his skate, hit the crossbar and stayed out.
Wow. Glances off the skate of Saint, chips up, hits the crossbar behind Septemfelter. Then it comes back out into the slot to Parker Jones. And Septemfelter is just able to eat it up for a huge whistle there.
Oh, Septemfelter had no idea where that puck was. Hit the crossbar, hit it in the back, and smartly and wisely just kind of lays back to try and just cover up the puck if it is sitting in the blue paint. And he made the right move. Puck stays out, but we just talked about it, Andrew. Greenville showing some urgency here. Yep. They need a goal.
Yeah, for Septemfelter there, if you're a goalie and you don't know where the puck is, get wide. And that's exactly what he did, able to cover that one up, not knowing where it was.
Greenville at the line, shot by Murray, tipped in front, and there is another chance for Greenville. O'Reilly right on the doorstep trying to throw a between the legs shot, and it did not go. Went right through his legs. Now it's Saint from the right wing, 2-on-1, shot off the post and out! Hand pass stops time with 11:28 left in the third. Hate to say it, Andrew, but Greenville really pouring it on right now, and they might be in the most unluckiest stretch a team can be in right now. What is that, 2 or 3 posts in the last minute or so?
Yeah, 2 posts and maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Gladiators looking like they're hanging on for dear life right now. They're just trying to survive this absolute onslaught from Greenville right now.
Swamp Rabbits have taken their game to the next level. But the Gladiators being the Gladiators and being the best defensive team in the league, and get a little puck luck as well, and some help from the Iron. Keep a 2-0 lead as Mateer absolutely blasts Savoy on the far side half wall. Now Sylvester with the steal at center circle, feeds it left wing for Boudon. He's got a step, Boudon centers, looking for Walter, had a stick lifted by Berg, crashing towards the net. And that's exactly how Walter scored last night. Greenville tries to put a shot on goal, pinballs to Septemfelter, he gets knocked into, and the Gladiators are unhappy about that, and rightfully so.
Yep, shot on net there, looks like Savoy just trying to dig in, maybe, I mean, you're down 2, you're trying to take anything you can, maybe trying to see if Septemfelter lit up the rebound there, just takes it for a spin.
Not the first time that Septemfelter has had some contact come his way in this game.
Nope.
It was Dante Sheriff the first time, Carter Savoy this time, and Savoy getting a talking to from Tyler Haskell, the referee. Looks like he's just going to get a warning. I'm going to say 5-on-5.
Yeah, and I think that's the right call. You know, Septemfelter maybe came out of his crease a little far, but still Savoy kind of went into him full tilt there, but keep it 5-on-5, keep playing here.
Face off to the left of Septemfelter. Boudon will take this against Hausinger. And the product of Lake Superior State wins it to the wall, but Greenville's got it back. Put a shot on goal. Septemfelter deep in his net, makes the save. And now Sylvester back out to center circle again. Puck jumbles off his skate on the pass attempt to O'Hara. His cross-ice feed, it's a stick and flies into the air. Boudon swats it down. It throws it around the boards to the trapezoid, where Charleston will set up the next Greenville breakout. Rigo over the red line, brushes left wing for Polino. Stops on a dime, scans the ice and shoots wide of Septemfelter. Puck tumbles out to the neutral zone. Lovell's got it back for Greenville. 10-10 left in the third period. Swamp Rabbits drive it in. Septemfelter shovels it up to the right point. Lovell keeps it in, fires a shot, blocked by Jarvis, rebound to Modry. He has it swindled away by Burns. He springs Cipolone into action. Joey Cipolone centers off the skate of Denemy. Carabia from the left point keeps the play alive. Deeper down the wall, Cipollone shoots, save made, the rebound to Denemy. Burns can't stuff it in, fires off the outside of the net. Rebound jumbles up to the left point. Conroy ladles it from high to low. Burns can't quite pull it in. Gladiators forechecking, trying to keep Greenville in, but the Swamp Rabbits come flying out. Distribute right wing for Hausinger. Tries to sidestep Conroy and does. Centers for a chance by Poisson. Save made by Septenfelter. Mask comes off. Whistle immediately. 9:18 left in the third. So TJ Septenfelter rising to the occasion here in the third period. And a little bit of help from his posts. Keep it a 2-0 game here in the third. We're back after this.
Desserts are popping up on Purple's menu.
More than just cookies.
The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
.918 left in the third period. Gladiators have the lead 2-0 with 2 power play goals, both from the Frenchman Louis Boudon. Now to 11 goals on the campaign. And now the look to close this one out. In the final game before the holiday break. Greenville really pouring it on, though, putting some pressure on the Gladiators in an attempt to tie this game. First, they need to get one. Les from the far corner of his own zone, jockeying with Savoy. Pushes him up to the left point. Greenville tries to force it towards the net. Instead, it comes back to Savoy on the far side half wall, wrapped up by Young. Tries to pass across. It's picked off by Francis. Reaches out to pull it in. Hits it to Nolan, drives it deep into Greenville territory. Off the end wall, Young picks it up, tries to return it to Francis. Murray gets in the middle of it, and he'll locate Shandor on the left wing, and Greenville pops it back out to center. Collision at center ice. Sheriff has some room. Right wing, he'll go around the net and loses hold of the puck.
That was the right idea by Sheriff there. He had Septenfelter sliding all the way out of the net. Just not able to finish the play by making the pass. But a good play by Conroy, kind of cutting him off there, forcing the puck off his stick a little bit.
Yeah, Gladiators defenseman on that play doing a good job of keeping Sheriff to the boards, making sure they didn't have that angle for the wraparound. Now a shot goes into the glove of Charleston from Peter Morgan with 8:11 left in the third.
Yeah, I want to go back just before the break. Great shift by the third line for the Gladiators. We talked about a little bit where Greenville, the last couple of minutes, they were really seizing the momentum. It was just an offensive onslaught for Greenville in the Gladiators zone. But the third line did a really good job of getting on the forecheck and getting some good opportunities in the Greenville zone.
This Gladiators team is just a well-oiled machine, Andrew. You think about the first line, the terrific three, you get that second line that just complements each other so well, and then the third and fourth lines do exactly what they need to do. They just play the right way, no matter what the combination of forwards may be. And that's not even talking about the defense and what they've been able to do.
Just goes to show the Gladiators' depth this year. They're just such a deep team that any line can go out there and score a goal for you if you need it to.
And that's how you have to be if you want to win a championship. As Nychuk glides down the left wing, pots it to the trapezoid, heads off for a line change. Van let's go Glads chant. Cross-ice pass, on time for Saint. Shot is blocked by Carabia. For Carabia, his fourth game back after injury. I thought he's done a nice job so far here, Andrew, of taking shots and blocking chances from Greenville. As O'Reilly at the right point shoots through the slot and out the other side. Point to point, Rigo Brushes left wing, snapshot kicked away by Septemfelter. And now Sylvester tries to jam it out to the neutral zone. Greenville tries to come right back in there offside.
Yeah, as you were saying about Craigie, you know, that's his game. He's more of a defensive defenseman. He's going to go out there, break up plays, block some shots, and that's just his game. So I really like what I've seen from him here today.
6:55 left in the third period. Gladiators still with a 2-0 lead. 25 shots on goal for Atlanta, 19 for Greenville. As Modry bangs it wide of Septemfelter and out of play. We get another stoppage. First line out there for the Gladiators. Cody Sylvester, Isaac Walter, Louis Boudon. That line has been great today. But really, it's been the power play that's stolen the show for the Gladiators. And fortunately for those three, they're all on that first unit. We could give the 5 stars of the game and even a 6 to the goaltender. That would be it for me, but unfortunately have to pick 3. Centering feed knifed away by the stick of Septemfelter. Sylvester on the move, 3-on-1 up ice. Sylvester left circle, puts it in front. Boudon will score! Hat trick for the Frenchman. Atlanta leads 3-0.
A great pass by Cody Sylvester. He's got Boudon cutting to the net. Little saucer pass there from Sylvester right on the stick of Boudon, and he just backhand deflects it right through the 5-hole of Charleston. Throw the hats.
1 for the money,
There it is.
2 for the show. Look at Louis go. He's got 3. What a pass from Sylvester. All Boudon had to do was knock it between the wickets of Charleston. It's Louis' world, and we're living in it. 3-0.
Greenville there, down 2 goals at that point. Getting a little aggressive in the offensive zone, trying to push the offense. They get caught too deep, give up a 3-on-1, and Boudon and Sylvester make it pay.
Hats come out onto the ice. Got a Santa hat down there. What a game for Louis Boudon, and it is the first hat trick for a Gladiator this year. We thought we had one off the stick of Isaac Walter back in the Utah series, but after further review, the second goal in that game belonged to Cody Sylvester as it hit the stick of the defenseman and went in, not Walters. So for the Gladiators, this hat trick from Louis Boudon is the first hat trick by a Gladiators player since January 12th of 2025 against the Cincinnati Cyclones, a 5-3 win. Cody Sylvester had the hat trick that day, and Sylvester has factored in on 2 of Boudon's 3 here today. Fans serenade Charleston. Gladiators with the 3-0 lead. Biggest lead of the season series. Ryan Nolan on the near wall. Squash off the puck. Young will step in. Off the wall finds Francis. Cross ice. Les back the other way. Off the stick of Nolan. Couldn't have an angle to shoot. And so along the goal line, ends up losing puck possession. Greenville slots it through the neutral zone, and Les will find Francis. Nolan cuts inside. Gets stripped up at the line. Fans want a penalty, but Gladiators had a few of those today, so none to be had, and we've already converted on 2 of them. Louis Boudon 2 power play goals. That last one 5-on-5. From the left side, Sheriff shoots. Puck goes through the slot, plops down on the goal line, and no one wants to touch it. And so they just blow it dead with 5:20 left in the third period. Louis Boudon has the hat trick here today at Gas South Arena. 3-0 Atlanta when we come back.
Desserts are popping up on Crumbles menu.
More than just cookies.
The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
Louis Boudon with the hat trick here today. Has every single Gladiator goal in this one. That last one might have been enough to help Atlanta hit their 19th win of the year. Greenville trying to change that narrative. Extra attacker on the ice. Charleston to the bench. 6-on-5 for Greenville. 5:05 left in the third. Chad Costello wasting no time. From the left wing, Rigo scans the ice. Has a man up top. Shot by Berg. Fought up by Septenfelter. He'll knife it into the near corner. Cipollone tries to clear. Held in by Sheriff. Cipollone punches it down the length of the ice. That'll go down as an icing with 4:43 to go.
You know, pulling the goalie with 5 minutes left, it's a bold strategy, guy. We'll see if it pays off for him. But I mean, you're down 3-0. You got nothing to lose. Why not?
For Louis Boudon, going back to the hat trick, that is his second career ECHL hat trick. He did it back in 2024, February 23rd against Cincinnati when he was a member of the Iowa Heartlanders. And Boudon that year finished with 18 goals and 28 assists for 46 points in 54 games. He's already up to 30 in 25 this year. What a signing that's been, as Greenville almost slams one in right point blank on Septenfelter. Shot goes over the cage. Savoy to the line. Rigo pushes across. Berg back point to Rigo. Right wing Savoy, top of the circle. Pass down low, dribbles to the slot. Atlanta sweeps it away, but pushes towards the empty nets. Doesn't have enough steam and was going to end up being off target anyway.
Yeah, it looked like Mateer might be trying to mess up Septenfelter's shutout there. Put that one right on the tape of Savoy in the slot, looking for his partner, Nychuk.
Now, Andrew, we have a lot of time left on the clock. Greenville's net is empty. I have talked to TJ Septenfelter about this kind of scenario before, and let's just say that if he gets the chance, he will take it.
Yeah,
so
why not?
We'll see how that ends up going down. Greenville offside on the zone entry, 3:42 to go.
If you're Septenfelter, would you be willing to potentially give up his chance at the shutout? Because, you know, he goes out to play the puck. It doesn't go well. It ends up in the back of his net. I mean, he's had so many shutouts. I think a goal might be a little more important than a shutout as a goalie.
Well, I think the answer has already been answered this season. Think back to Septenfelter's, and we accidentally said the word, by the way, so hopefully that one's not on us. Sorry, TJ, but think back to the Florida game where he had that 2-0 shutout against the Florida Everblades. He did take a crack at it on that game. And interestingly enough, when we were in Florida, goalie coach Mitch Korn was with us that day. He's in the house again here today. Septenfelter kind of flubbed on that attempt towards the empty net, almost turned it over. Florida almost scored. Safe to say Mitch wasn't the biggest fan of it, but ended up working out for TJ, and who knows, maybe he's got another trick up his sleeve. But the biggest thing right now is the Gladiators on the power play. John Parker Jones in the box, so the net is no longer empty. Greenville short-handed as Atlanta will have to add another on the power play. So too many men on the ice to Greenville. That is why John Parker Jones is in the box, and Chad Costello has got to be losing his mind. Eco-electric power play for the Gladiators. They will look to make this a 4-0 hockey game. Cipollone to the left wing for Burns. Fans on the centering feed. Cipollone saves the day and keeps puck possession. Now Francis goes across. Nolan back to Francis. Leaves it for Mateer, centering feed off a skate. Greenville will just smack it down the length of the ice and clear with 2:50 left in the third. Nychuk with it, slingshots it back over his own blue line. Now Boudon gains the attacking line. Young slides down the left wing. Has Nychuk at the left point. Nychuk across. Sylvester delays. Creeping down the wall, the captain with 2 assists today. Jolts it up to the right point for Nychuk. Hammered around the boards, on the money for Young. He gets caught up to by Rigo. Greenville scuttles the puck to the far corner. Sylvester is there. Young, right circle, has an avenue to pass, broken up by Rigo. Wanted Walter backdoor, Rigo sniffed it out, feeds it right wing, flagged down by Boudon. Sends Young up ice, 2-on-1, Walter to his right, Young to the goal, and he gets shrugged off the puck by Rigo. Greenville turns it over, Young left circle, feeds it inside, looking for Walter. Pass behind, Conroy at the line, feeds it left circle, Young taps across, chance for Sylvester, and he just fires wide. Penalty expires, Parker Jones out of the box. 1:30 left in the third. Conroy with it, maneuvers out to the neutral zone, feeds it to his right, misses the intended target. Morgan chases to the end wall. Greenville gets possession, and we'll see if they elect to pull Charleston again for an extra attacker. Now with just 70 seconds left on the game clock. Parker Jones, shot blocked by his own man. Puck goes to the near wall. They're telling Charleston, he was headed towards the bench, to just stay there. So no empty net. Les scoots it out to the neutral zone. And Greenville might just cut their losses here as we're into the final minute of the third.
Less than a minute to go here in the third period.
Greenville thumps it off the end wall. Conroy has it. Spatters it off the near wall at the line level, will keep. Conroy muscles out to center. They'll batter forward at the blue line level, and Conroy getting into it behind the play, and gloves not dropped yet, and now they are! Ryan Conroy's gonna go! Wraps up level, gets a couple shots in. Ryan Conroy laying down the law. And I don't think Lovell wanted to smoke.
Nope.
Conroy dropped his gloves. Lovell kind of looked up and was like, oh boy, I guess we're doing it.
Yeah, Lovell
he didn't really have a choice.
Lovell still had his gloves and his stick in his hands as Conroy, in one motion, dropped his gloves and started feeding rights to Lovell. That can't be fun.
Ryan Conroy's a no-nonsense kind of guy.
Nope.
He's going to take care of business and lay down the law. Got the mustache. Might start calling him the sheriff. The sheriff lays down the law.
I like that.
He heads off to the locker room. No funny business. On the watch of the sheriff, 20.1 left in the third. And I have to imagine that Conroy might get a penalty there for instigating. We've seen that in the past. That would put Greenville on the power play late here. Get the replay in-house, and Lovell didn't want that one. Nope.
He poked the bear.
So we get a conversation at the scorer's table. Tyler Haskell, the referee, sending out the verdict. And we'll see. So Conroy off to the locker room, 20 seconds left in the game. Penalty box door is open on the home side, and so someone is going to serve what is likely an instigating penalty to Conroy. But Andrew, you think about what we've seen here today, this might be, and this is really saying something, this might be the most complete game that we've seen Atlanta play here today. You have a hat trick from Louis Boudon, 2 power play goals. There is still some time left, but the penalty kill has been phenomenal today, and we're not going to say the word, but TJ Septenfelter has been awesome. Everything going in Atlanta's way right now. It feels like this has been their best game of the year, and it might be a statement win heading into the holiday break.
Yeah, certainly, Guy. You know, everyone played their roles today. You know, third, fourth line, force some turnovers, getting on the forecheck, and then your first and second line, obviously, mixture of those lines on the power play, scoring for you. So, Gladiators playing their role today. Septenfelter stopping the puck. Defenseman doing very well, keeping everything to the outside. And Chad Nychuk is always your offensive defensive back there, creating some offense. So, yeah, as you said, just a complete game from the Gladiators today and just a super impressive win.
Ryan Francis, for whatever reason, seems to be the go-to guy to serve somebody else's penalty or a bench minor. He's going to serve this for Conroy. 20.1 left in the third. Face off to the left of Septenfelter. Berg from the line, feeds it left wing. Atkinson shoots wide of the goal mouth. 12 seconds left. Hausinger spits it to the line. Berg delays. Left circle. Atkinson again. Behind the back pass. Berg shoots, deflection, rebound, score! No! 4 seconds left in the third, and the shutout bid is broken. Greenville makes it 3-1 with 4 seconds left. I'm putting that one on you. You said the word.
I'm putting on Ryan Conroy. He might owe TJ Septenfelter a drink after this one. But I'll take
we'll allow it.
Conroy will go 50-50 on that one. I'll hand up accountability.
So with 4 seconds left in the third, and it breaks the perfect day for the penalty killed as well. It is officially a power play goal for Greenville. 4 seconds left. Puck is dropped, but hey, a win's a win. The Gladiators squashed the Swamp Rabbits. 3-1 the final. TJ Septenfelter's got win number 10 of the year, and Louis Boudon has the hat trick in the Sunday victory. I think there's a couple of Gladiators fans that fell to their knees in their living room. No! Greenville breaks the shutout. 4 seconds left in the third. But a win is a win. Gladiators improve to 19-6. Winners of their last three. They sweep the 3-3. They sweep the home and home. And the sky's the limit for the Atlanta Gladiators. Greenville falls to 11-10-4. And Atlanta, for the moment, depending on what happens with the Florida Everblades, tied for first in the South Division. And they are not slowing down anytime soon. Full team effort, Andrew. Should have been a shutout for TJ Septenfelter. Ends up stopping 21-22. Gladiators score 3 on 26 shots. Was a good game for Pierce Charleston.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Charleston, I think that would have been a lot worse for Greenville. Charleston, I thought, played a very good game for Greenville. But yeah, as we said right before that last face-off there, just a complete game from the Gladiators. Everyone played their role to a T. And that's what you get when you play the game the right way. A nice win for the Gladiators here today.
Here's how it all shook down. Louis Boudon with a 3-goal performance, his second ECHL career hat trick. First goal comes 8:58 into the first on the power play from Nychuk and Young. Second goal in the third period. First goal came in the second period. Next two came in the third. 2:30 in, Boudon makes it 2-0, and then he makes it 3-0. 13:34 into the third. Sylvester factors in on 2 of those goals, the latter 2. He's your third star of the game, and then the shutout-breaking goal. 4 seconds left on the power play for Greenville. Josh Atkinson gets that one. Interestingly enough, on Boudon's hat-trick goal, his third of the day, your second star of the night had an assist on that goal. TJ Septenfelter, credited with an assist on Boudon's third goal. Almost had a shutout here today. We'll give him an honorary shutout. The old broadcaster's jinx. Stops 21-22. Job well done for Septenfelter. Picks up his 10th win of the year. Gladiators are the only team in the ECHL to have 2 goaltenders with 9 or more wins. And a tip of the cap, and why not 3 of them, to your first star of the day, Louis Boudon. 3 goals for the Frenchman. He is your first star of the game. He is downstairs with Miss Emma Hart.
I mean, this is our second game in a row to our first star, and obviously I have to ask you, your hat trick tonight, tell me about it.
It's good. It's a good time to do it. Fans were amazing. Thank you guys. I was really good about tonight. You guys helped us spending time with my wife and didn't get too much time so far, so I think that kind of why I
Well, thank you so much, and congratulations on the hat trick again.
One more time, thank you.
Gladiators stop the Swamp Rabbits. Louis Boudon leads the way. 3-goal performance from the alternate captain in the Gladiators. And Atlanta is 19-6 heading into the holiday break, Andrew. And I think they shocked a lot of people here to start this season. 25 games in, 19-6 record. I don't think anybody thought the Atlanta Gladiators were going to be in this position by Christmas. Tied for first place in the South Division. Really speaks volumes as to what the coaching staff has done, the players have done. It's just been fun and phenomenal to watch.
Yeah, you know, you bring in a new, he's coached obviously before as an assistant coach, but head coach Matt Ginn comes in, obviously new coach, he brings in his own philosophies, he brings in his own guys, obviously assistant coach Zach Manel, and it's just worked for the Gladiators this year. The people that they brought in, the players that they brought in, it's just worked for the Gladiators, and it's just been such a fun season to watch so far, and I can't wait to see what they do after this holiday break.
The Gladiators are on the up and up, winners of their last 3 6-game home winning streak. This has become the Coliseum, or should I say the Fortress. The Gladiators now 11-2 in this building this season. Greenville, one of the 2 teams that have beat them in this building. Gladiators, very tough team to play against at home, and they're a great road team too, and so they'll put that to the test again when they return to Bon Secours Wellness Arena on the 26th, the day after Christmas, for the final game of what is 3 in a row between them and the Swamp Rabbits. And as we mentioned before, we're going to see a lot of Greenville here over the next couple of weeks. But going back here to today, it feels like today was kind of a microcosm of everything that has gone right for the Gladiators this season. You get the power play goals. You get, albeit from the 4 seconds left in the third period, great penalty killing. You get great goaltending from TJ Septenfelter, who for much of this game didn't have to do a whole lot, but when he had to, when Greenville was pressuring the third period, he did enough. He made the saves that he had to. Helps his team get the victory, and that's really all you can ask for out of a goaltender, is to help your team and give them a chance to win. I don't think there's been a game outside of the Utah game last Saturday in which the Gladiators were out of it towards the end of the third period. Every single game has come down to the wire. Atlanta has had a chance to win. And so you think about everything that happened here today. The forechecking was great, the zone entries, everything was going Atlanta's way here today, Andrew. Feels like that today is a statement win for the Atlanta Gladiators. We are here, we are back, we are a force to be reckoned with, and that right there, what we saw here today, that was Atlanta Gladiators hockey.
Yeah, it's just great complementary hockey. You know, they're getting out of their zone clean from the defense up to the wingers, and they're getting into the zone cleanly and getting good looks on net, and they're getting great stops from their goaltenders, both Hyder and Septenfelter, as we have said numerous times, have both been stellar for the Gladiators this season. And it really does. It starts in net. You build your team from the net out. And the Gladiators, they have 2 stellar goaltenders, a great defensive core that can defend well and provide offense for you, and a very deep forward core that all know how to play their role and chip in offensively.
So for the Gladiators, they head into the holiday break 19-6. This Gladiators team has just risen to the occasion this season, tied for first place in the division. Let's take a look at what's going on here today around the ECHL, given that this game has now gone final. Florida does win here today, and so that makes it, unfortunately, for the time being, the Gladiators will have to settle for second. Florida now up to, I believe, 40 points on the campaign to the Gladiators 38 after their win here today. Florida wins 3-2 in Savannah. The Solar Bears defeat the Stingrays 4-0 at North Charleston Coliseum. So that's back-to-back games in which South Carolina has been shut out. And it kind of feels like that the Gladiators and the Everblades are on the up and up. The Stingrays kind of mulling around a bit, kind of sliding back down to no man's land. And then you've got Greenville, Jacksonville, and Savannah all competing for that 4th slot, but it feels like nobody really wants it at this point. Every team out of those 3 has had a chance to take control of that 4th seed, and they haven't. And that opens the door for a team like Orlando, who with another win here today, could find their way back into the playoff picture still early in the season. But that is your lowdown in the South Division. Orlando wins over South Carolina, Florida over Savannah, and Atlanta today over Greenville. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch down the stretch. Before we head out, I want to talk about what the Gladiators were able to do in the special teams department here today. Atlanta ends up going 2 for 6 on the power play, and there's been times this season where the power play has received some criticism, things aren't going its way, and then you get days like today where they go up against the Greenville penalty kill, 6th best in the ECHL, and they hammer it in twice. It feels like if this power play can get consistent for the Gladiators and keep that consistency through the new calendar year, this Gladiators team has a chance to go far in the Kelly Cup playoffs should they find themselves there at the end of the season.
Yeah, we've said it before, the Gladiators have had opportunities on the power play to take control of games, and they haven't. Today, that's exactly what they did. They came out here, scored 2 power play goals to take the 2-0 lead, and the power play was just huge for the Gladiators today. So yeah, if this power play can get consistent, clicking it about probably 20-25%. They were clicking up at today 33% today, going for 2 for 6, which is a stellar percentage. But if you can get your power play to about 20-25%, I think that would be huge for this Gladiators team going into this second half of the season.
Penalty kill was awesome as well, despite taking a hit, surrendering that goal to the Swamp Rabbits with 4 seconds left. I believe Atlanta's penalty kill ends up going 1 for 2 here today, as the box score is kind of bugged out on the ECHL website, and that happens every now and then. But if I had not lose count, 2 for 6 on the power play, 1 for 2 on the penalty kill. And so this Atlanta Gladiators team is just doing all the right things heading into the holiday break. So final score here from Duluth, Atlanta 3, Greenville 1, and Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Thank you to everybody who has been watching us throughout the course of the season. Thank you for watching and listening here today, and have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, whichever way you celebrate, whatever you celebrate. Hope you have a great time. Spend some time with your family. And we appreciate all your support this season. And that goes to you, my friend. Thank you for joining me here today. What a game this was. A lot of fun. Always good to see you here up in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, Guy. Always fun being out here with you calling these games. So thank you, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas to all. Once again, your final score, Atlanta 3, Greenville 1. Have a happy and safe holiday, and thank you for watching this presentation of the ECHL. We are back to business on Friday night in Greenville. 6:05 puck drop, 5:45 pregame show. Have a happy and safe holiday, and we will see you then. Atlanta gifts their fans 2 more points as a present. Atlanta sweeps the 3-3 Friday night win over Jacksonville, back-to-back over Greenville, and smiles are all around here in Atlanta.